Okay, we are getting into the draft for Piltover and the Void here. This might be a bit of a scuff stream because everything is down and I don't have we don't have the link for Combo's website, so everything is going to be a bit off. Have the Nocturne Warwick bands coming out. I assume we're going to see more jungle bands then. I think that makes sense. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the games, especially in Hextech and Arcane right now, you see a lot of competition early in the jungle. There's a lot of fighting. So I think that the Warwick ban makes a lot of sense into a lot of players. And the Void also banning Smolder. Smolder, I can't look at the champion win rates, but I believe we think Smolder has a very high win rate right now as far as Booze Bash goes. So I think taking that out is a good idea, especially against certain players who lock a lot of Smolder. Jhin, first pick. I think that makes reasonable sense. Aramis, they should be on the left. I don't know if the names are flipped or not. Sometimes they are. But Aramis, really good Jhin player. Opens up a lot of options for the rest of the team to play. Obviously, his damage is a little bit low, but he gives your team setup. He gives your team burst. And just a lot of utility. Also, if you get to objectives first with him, you have the traps, which gives you really good vision. The Void answering with Varus. So both ADCs right now, pretty good blinds into teams. They don't really force you into any particular play style. They're pretty well-rounded. You can play engage, disengage, or whatever you want with them. Piltover might be a little bit pressured, though, to go a higher damage comp after this first pick. And Varus also... He is better with poke than Jhin is because he is a damage supplier in poke, but also he is a very, very high DPS champion if he needs to be. And the Thresh locked with it. Thresh is very safe depending on the player. Thresh can get destroyed in lane versus a lot of people, but if you're very confident in landing hooks, it can be very good. The issue is obviously the hooks are a little bit more inconsistent than some of the other champions like Blitzcrank or Nautilus, but gives your ADC a lot of ways to escape. And Piltover locking Volibear. So Jhin Volibear, that may just be a engage comp at this point. Volibear normally really wants to run in. If he's unable to do that, his neutral fight is often not very good. And your early scrapping is excellent. So probably going to see that Volibear fighting pretty early, especially with that Braum pick. The bot side on Piltover, pretty strong in the early game. I think Jhin and Braum can kind of struggle to get that passive off sometimes, but they still have synergy in terms of Braum's slow, where Braum slows the target and then Jhin can W them. And then with that CC, you can eventually get the target to be stunned. And that is obviously with Volibear running bot. Volibear's attack speed is relatively high, so you can see people getting stunned, especially in the early fights. Braum, also a pretty good pick into Thresh often, and okay into Varus. He's not amazing into Varus. He's good into poke Varus. But Varus could just ult Braum, and the ult will spread anyway. And a lot of the time, you're just trying to get that first hit off. And the Void locking Kayn. Interesting. I think Kayn is one of those champions that you're a little bit scared to pick this early into a draft, and into the Volibear might be a little bit hard getting your face bashed in by a bear. However, Kayn can be all over the map really quickly, and bot lane he has that set up with Thresh into a melee and a ranged champion, so he has a lot of opportunity to get stacks down there. I think the early 3v3, though, is pretty favored towards Piltover. So far, at least. It kind of depends, too, how the Varus is going to be able to get autos off. If that is Nintendo on ADC, which I think Nintendo's always played ADC, I assume that's just going to be good spacing and everything. The reason I'm confused is Aphelios is open, and Nintendo is a really good Aphelios, so I'm surprised they don't want to take that this early. Then Mordekaiser and Mel ban. People hate Mel. That champion could have a 40% win rate and do 3 damage and people would still ban it. They are not a fan. I think it's mainly the W. If I were to guess, is the problem. Her Q can be unavoidable, but a lot of the time her damage is a little bit low. As opposed to other mages like Syndra or Ori. See what the Void choose to go on for. They opt for Morgana. It's probably going to. It is definitely going to be a Morgana mid. Kind of a flavor of the month pick right now. I don't think it's amazing into all blinds, but I can definitely see the value into some picks, especially a lot of melees or engaged comps. And in this situation, picking that into the Volibear will probably feel very good. Might want a bit of an early Zonias. Piltover might lock Darius. So you have Braum with this, though, who's not amazing at actually engaging himself. He's like reasonable in lane and everything, but you actually don't have an enchanter or any way to speed Volibear or Darius up now without, you know, like a Lulu or something like that. So actually trying to get in might be a little bit of an issue for Piltover right now, and they are playing into effectively a full disengaged team. Varus can be played with a lot of things, but he really likes when champions are running into him, and he also has a Thresh and Morgana to play with who are excellent at disengaging teams, and they also have the Kayn on the side to, you know, so Red Kayn could peel a little bit, but also Blue Kayn is really good at playing slow, could play slow with the Varus there. They have the damage coming out as well with the Varus and Morgana combined. Piltover deciding to go Syndra. I think Syndra makes sense, pretty well-rounded pick. Also, I think Syndra is pretty good into Morgana personally. I just think Piltover might have a problem. I think you kind of have to open with a Jhin ult to find a good engage, but the problem is that you're going to have to get through Spell Shield to get there anyway, and there's not going to be a whole lot of good targets to go for. The Void going Yorick into the Darius. I think it's fine. I think Yorick and Darius can go even a lot of the time depending on the players and the matchup. Yorick oftentimes is not perfect into a lot of champions who have AoE, like Garen, for example. They can go even, or Garen sometimes will get a pretty big advantage. But into Darius, Darius doesn't exactly have the amount of AoE that you normally want into Yorick. So it kind of comes down to the early trading and everything, because whoever can side lane and run down the other is probably going to be pretty strong. Or if the Darius can't run down the Yorick is just going to be able to kill him. So we will see how the team fights execute and everything. Piltover is running a comp here, which is very, very good at early scrapping. You know, you have that Volibear, who is an excellent early game pick, can 1v1 almost every champion in the early game. There's very few that you can't beat, and the few that you have to beat are just the ones that, you know, they need to land skill shots, they need to play really well, they need to space you well, and you can just keep hitting them. And if they try to just auto you back, you'll probably win. Some examples of this are like Poppy and Olaf, who need to be able to land their abilities and everything to actually beat you, but he just needs to punch people in the face. So I think that is a good pick here as far as the early fighting. Darius obviously really good at early skirmishes, and bot lane, you know, you have Jhin, Braum. They don't really need items in the same way that other bot lanes do, and they don't really need levels. So really strong early game comp here from Piltover. And on the side of the Void, they're not quite as strong in that, you know, laning phase part of the game, especially pre 8 minutes. They're not going to be nearly as strong. Varus is really looking for level 3 to start fighting the Braum and Jhin. And before then, even if Thresh lands a hook, it has to be a great fight for Varus to want to take, because otherwise, you know, you just might get out traded, you know, Braum shielded, all that kind of problem. And then even on top of that, you know, the Varus kind of needs to build up into a lot of bot lanes to start matching the damage, and Jhin and Braum are excellent at taking short trades. Top lane, Yorick can kind of struggle in river fights sometimes, especially before he has ultimate, but he should be all right if, you know, he can apply pressure to top lane, stop Darius maybe from running down a little bit early in the game here. And the Morgana early loses to Syndra, but once Morgana is able to one-shot the wave, if Syndra is having problems actually spacing her out, I think the Morgana is looking pretty good there, because she can get prio and just leave. She doesn't really need to interact with Syndra all that much. That is if the Syndra is not spacing the Morgana out. You know, Morgana doesn't have a lot of threat from Q in lane. It's a really slow ability, easy to dodge, especially for a champion like Syndra, who doesn't need to stand still to cast her abilities most of the time. And even in a stack check, Morgana can try to flash on you and do that kind of thing to ult you. But, you know, if your E is ready, if you're popping the spell shield before anything happens and then E her away, all that kind of stuff, then the Morgana can start to run into a lot of problems getting that prio over and over again into you. However, I think that takes a lot of spacing and a lot of play into Morgana, and I don't think it's an easy thing to do. So I think mid could go either way. I think theoretically it is favored for Syndra, but I think it is it takes a lot of skill, I think, for Syndra to do that. And then on the side of Morgana, Morgana is just like a very non-interactive playstyle. You can just W the wave and leave. It does not take a whole lot of know-how to do that over and over again. And then I think that in the jungle, obviously, Volibear is really good into Kayn, right? So I think early game, Piltover looking good all over the map. They're probably going to be strong everywhere. The problem, though, I think, is when you get beyond lane phase, especially when you start to see a lot of these neutral fights. I like the Void's comp a lot more for team fights, especially stylistically, right? Walking into the Void's comp without movement or without dashes, anything like that, is extremely difficult. You know, you can try to look for picks, but, you know, Morgana still has Spell Shield. Even if you get a stun, Morgana can still snare you before you're able to actually get over to her team. You have Thresh Hooks, Thresh Flays to get you away. Varus ultimate, obviously, and a lot of damage coming from that Varus as well. Kayn flanks can be a big problem when you're trying to look for kills, or even just to engage, right? Because you need to walk in, maybe with a Jhin ulting or something, but if you don't know where Kayn is, are you actually able to get a Jhin ult off, or will he just die immediately because Kayn is actually behind him? And then Yorick is a little bit more situational in terms of when he can play well. Yorick, though, has a ability to just block off parts of the map. So, you know, if you're in a choke or anything like that, Yorick is really good at just stopping a team from running in or cutting them in half, forcing them to auto his little cage. The thing about Yorick, though, is if he's able to trap anybody on Piltover, they might just be dead, because Piltover really doesn't have a lot of movement to get out of the cage. It's just Volibear and Braum, and they're both situational. Volibear needs to have ultimate up, and he needs to want to dedicate ultimate to the cage anyway. And then, you know, you have the Braum who needs a teammate nearby. And realistically, especially as the fight goes on, he oftentimes will not have that jump up. So I think this game will be pretty interesting. You're looking at kind of what Piltover is going to be able to do with their early game leads, if they're able to find any. They should be able to, especially with the power that Volibear has early in the jungle here. But the Void has a very stable comp. They shouldn't fall too far behind. You know, maybe they want to give early objectives, early neutrals, that kind of thing. But as the game goes farther and farther, I think the Void has a pretty decisive lead. Especially because Piltover doesn't have, honestly, a great way to get through the Void's front line, even though the Void doesn't have an amazing front line anyway. And then once you get through that front line, you still have to make it through a Morgana and a Varus. And Morgana Varus is one of those backlines that is just ridiculously safe into champions that want to run into them. So I'm not really sure how Piltover plans to execute the fights, really. I think that they just need to focus on the side lanes as the game goes on. They need to focus on what you're going to do, you know, to get your side lanes ahead, make sure they can't really be matched. I think if you're focused on that 5v5 or 4v4, you will run into a lot of problems as the game goes on. But, you know, maybe focusing on Volibear engages, focusing on getting the Syndra ahead so she can look for a lot of damage, because if Syndra's able to burst everyone on the Void down, they're not going to be able to do a whole lot in this game. And then, obviously, the Darius. If the Darius is able to side lane into the Yorick and he gets pretty far ahead, Yorick is going to run into a lot of problems trying to do his job in general. And if Yorick is forced to team fight, normally not a great situation for him. But honestly, in this situation, it's not that bad for him, because when you're playing Yorick into a team like this that just needs to run in, you don't need to engage. You don't need to close the distance. You can just sit back and sit with your Varus and Morgana. You outrange the enemy team, so you can just wait for them to run into you, and then you can use your abilities, and you're not forced to just try to trap a ranged champion or something like that to try to catch someone. Getting into game here in 20 seconds. And remember, it will be a little bit scuffed. I can't use the overlay this stream because for some reason it's broken. I think I had to reinstall it, but I didn't have time to. It took a really long time to download files that should not have been that big, because I think it may hate me. Let me make sure that we have everything functional here. We should be good. Oh, that's just Jin. RMS does not want his name to be seen for this game. Without my little extra app here, I'll actually have to focus on making sure the camera's in good spots and everything. They're also capturing the cursor for some reason, which is annoying. Don't know why it's chosen to do that now. That is something that theoretically should not have changed. There we go, no more cursor. My cursor is comically big too. Synopsy already looking for early vision. I kind of like going for this. You really want to know where that Kayn is starting. You have a pretty good guess that Kayn is going to start Raptors. He often does. He clears it really quickly. But once you know where that Kayn is starting, maybe you can look for invades or something like that early in the game here. And especially before Morgana can just permanently get Prio, you know, you could probably look for pretty aggressive stuff here because Morgana is going to have a lot of problems actually trying to trade into that Syndra. Just trying to trade with W is like, okay, but it's more like a trading pattern with a Aurelion Soul tap Q, where it doesn't do that much damage as opposed to, you know, just a Syndra full Q or something like that. Going to have a little bit of early fighting here in the bot lane. Oh, Ghostboy taking actually a lot of damage. We'll get stunned here. Unable to take him down, but that's... Oh, they actually try to flash in. Flash Q with Ignite. He will be able to go down, but Hermes no longer has Flash now. We'll try to outplay Nintendo here, but doesn't have a great way to get away. Actually turns around to auto. But Nintendo is also low now. Still has Flash, though. Joe coming up on Q here. Nintendo should be able to get away. Oh, Joe may have... I think Joe may have overplayed his part a little bit there.
Hello.
Hello.
I think I'm all caught up with you. Did we just watch Joe get killed by Nintendo's Varus?
Yes, and I can also fast forward here. Are you all the way fast forwarded? I am at 3 minutes now. You're also muted in Discord, but I assume that was intentional. Synopsy. Oh, Synopsy is going for the early invade. I like looking for it here, but he will get collapsed on from a lot of sides. Grant actually flashing in to finish off Synopsy.
He is not out.
I am slightly ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm speeding up.
Okay. Oh, a huge trade on the top here. Oh, Nazgul, 1 health. Has to flash away from Lawful. I would have to look at the macro on the invade on Synopsy. I'm not sure why it went poorly. I would imagine it has to do with prio or communication on the invade itself. You know, you kind of have to be on the same page as the team when you do that kind of thing, especially when you have that Braum Jhin bot lane, because if they don't move early, they don't have a great way to get to you. Especially into Thresh, too, who's really good at collapsing in his own jungle. Grant is looking for...
Oh, that hook was so close.
Grant is looking for something. I don't know... Oh, okay. So Grant is really late on this next reset, it looks like. Let's see what he's looking to do here. As far as tempo, Synopsy is ahead, but Synopsy's going to try to do this top gank here. Lawful does have Flash, though, and Synopsy's level 3. But Synopsy is still an early game Volibear. Does a lot of damage to Lawful here. Lawful turning around, hitting him in the face, and walking away.
You wouldn't be able to stream in Discord and the other one, would you? If it's too much, I can. Okay.
Let's
I
see.
won't exit the game in case it does. It like makes you lag or something. But
I think I'm good. I have
okay.
my CPU's at 10% usage right now.
Nice.
I can also
Yeah,
actually.
I just kept falling behind. I don't know. My computer did not want to keep up with the correct thing, I guess.
It didn't believe in you.
No, it didn't believe in itself.
So far, the gold is relatively even. Biggest gold lead right now is. I was gonna say it's in jungle, but jungle's 300 and support is Oh, it is about 250. I think it was higher just a second ago. Support is actually a pretty good, pretty big gold diff there, and the ADCs are relatively even. Another gank here on top side. Synopsy only level 4. Lawful level 6, but Lawful 1 health. Getting bled here. Synopsy gonna try to chase him down. Lawful barely able to survive. Turns around for the
There's
heal
no
again.
way.
Might be able to get away
He lives here?
Synopsy's slowed. Oh, but Synopsy lives.
That would have been crazy. I actually thought he was gonna get out.
Yeah, I did too. That would actually be insane. Now, in the bot lane, actually, Nintendo is really low health here, but has an item, whereas Aramis does not have one. So, we'll see how it goes. Aramis needs to back probably at some point here. He is sitting on to 1,800 gold. Oh, he will recall now. Nintendo about 200 gold ahead. So, just a little lead there. Although, if they don't get this wave in on time... Oh, I don't...
Whoa!
Oh, okay, they need to get this wave in on time. I actually think Joe should never back here, because if he's able to catch this wave, even force Nintendo and Ghost to try to kill him, it's so bad for those two, because now the wave is just permanent on their side. But it does look like Joe finishes the back.
I mean, is it crashing?
Yeah, it's crashing.
It almost looked like it was gonna stop at a nice spot.
Yeah, it did. It was very close. If I think that those situations can be really hard, especially when your ADC is that low with no mana, because killing a Braum especially is so difficult. Oh, Nazgul going for a kill on Lawful here.
Stuck in the baby cage.
Lawful actually running back into Nazgul's side of the lane here. I think Lawful believes that he wins the longer fight, but Nazgul has all the bleed stacked, and Lawful will actually go down. I think that is like a big plot twist. I think Lawful's like the favorite top laner here.
I think traditionally these two go back and forth.
Interesting.
Maybe, I don't know if that's been happening this tournament. I haven't paid attention to that specific matchup, but they're usually a little back and forth.
I think Lawful has been quite dominant the tournament in general, and it looks like Nazgul's kind of flipping the table on that right now. And going back to what you said, he is now flipping it back and forth, because I think Lawful has won the vast majority of his lanes, and I think Nazgul has been struggling a little bit, but as far as I understand, it's because Nazgul is the busiest person alive. But
he does a lot. He just got married. He does he does at least one job, if not two. I don't know if he still does two.
Oh, Dandy missing the stun there, but Nazgul barely able to hold on so far. Will dodge the Morgana Q as well. I'm super shocked Nazgul lived there, actually. That was a lot of micro to be able to live. Because if he walked back a little bit, he actually gets hit by the Morgana Q there and also dies.
Also, the healing? I guess that's why Jungle Darius is a thing, but the healing off the Void Grubs there was insane. Darius is like over half HP now. He had like 1 second ago.
It's funny too, actually, because he's the one that started it. Synopsy gonna go onto Lawful here with the whole gang. Lawful now is going to really struggle in this game, because if you're not able to win the side lane into a Darius, especially when Darius has Ghost, it's very difficult to play. Aramis barely hanging on here bot, actually. If you got hit by the hook, it may have been over. Nintendo does have ultimate here. They absolutely can go for a dive. Does not look like they're super interested in it, though, but with Varus ultimate and Thresh hook, that's a lot of CC, and they actually have a lot of damage between them in the early game here, especially with the Varus stacks applied. Even Thresh doesn't do 0 damage here.
Yeah, and they have Morgana Kane nearby. Maybe they're just waiting for Kane for this dive.
Definitely could be. They did clear the pink, but now Braum is here, and trying to dive Jhin with Braum near him is extremely difficult, especially with that Braum ult up, and you have to make it through that. It can be quite hard. Maybe you can do it with Spell Shield, but it's not free, and after Thelic has been gone
They're
so
leaving.
long from mid lane, Dandy is going to be able to get this wave in now, and yeah, they have to leave.
Oh, they tried to make a play. It's always sad when your team tries to make a play and it just doesn't work out one way or
Oh,
another.
Dandy found in
Oh.
the jungle by Grant, but does not look like Grant is super interested to kill himself, because I think Dandy would just be able to move under tower, then Grant wouldn't be able to do anything.
Little stun.
Dandy getting a
Almost
pretty big lead in
chunk
the
to
mid here.
half.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Getting hit by a full Syndra combo this early in the game is... It does a lot of damage, actually, especially when you have that Ludens. They changed Syndra's champion identity a while ago to be a lane bully and a late game champion, but she can struggle in the mid game a little bit. I think you're kind of seeing it here, and if she gets a big enough lead into the Morgana, then Syndra can definitely be a monster through the entire game.
Oh, Iron landed.
Ooh, Nintendo.
Nintendo
Oh, has to
dodges.
flash away. A great flash. Turns around, ults. They will be able to take down Joe here. Grant needs to flash away as well. Looks like they want to keep going here. I can't tell what either team wants to do here. Does not look like they're on the same page.
And this is like crazy. Oh,
Thelic
Flag
finds an
going in.
ultimate here. Oh, Nintendo uses E. Does not have a reset now on QW, so won't be able to find
cleanse
a lot more damage.
splash.
Grant is back here, though. Oh, tries to kill Synopsy. Synopsy just won.
Hermes wanted that the lag kill so bad.
This is, by the
Gotta
way,
get away then. Run, Steve.
this may be a little bit biased as well, but I think Varus is genuinely one of the hardest ADCs to play, just because of how that W reset works. If you're not getting like 3 stacks off of W, or fight here in the jungle, Danny getting to 1 health by Thelic, and Thelic also 1 health walking blind into the bush, almost goes down. Thelic is how you say his name, right? Or is it not? How do you say it?
The lag.
The lack? Okay.
If you ask him, he's not gonna give you a straight answer. I don't think he like knows. But
He's
it's
gonna-
not the lack. It's the lack. Like TH.
It's the lack? Is that how you say it? Easiest to
I
say
say
name in
the-
Booze Bash, actually.
The lack. The lack.
The lack.
The lack. This is important caster conversation right now. Alright.
Oh, Nazgul taking a lot of damage here in the top side. This is kind of the risk when you're playing into the Yorick here. Yorick does a lot of damage if you're just playing neutral against him, so you kind of have to kill him, or you're going to lose the longer game here as the lane goes on.
Almost looks like Lawful Dog's about to catch back up top lane too. He looked like he was winning that fight. No, back and forth of top lane. It's crazy. You can win so hard and then you just lose.
Synopsy's back here,
Synopsy.
tries to make it not a fight, but Lawful has a lot of health here, has Maiden, has a lot of ghouls. This is not an easy fight for these two to take, especially with Nazgul being so low. Lawful
Oh,
trying to flash in
Nazgul
and
left
finish
him.
off Synopsy, but Synopsy ults away here.
Oh, great in here.
Oh, and will go down, and actually Lawful gets a huge shutdown, and all of a sudden gold is now within 800 gold topside, which is still not amazingly close, but it's a lot better when you're into that Darius.
Oh. A lot of skill shots missed in bot lane.
You don't need to hit those. None of these champions need to hit skill shots, right? Surely.
I don't know how to hit skill shots.
I think in the bot side here, the Varus and Thresh combo has a lot of kill potential basically at every point in the game.
Yeah. I'm glad to see Ghost Boy on the Thresh. I know that they were trying to put him on some enchanters for a little while. This is his home champion. He looks comfortable. He's been like, the hooks have been going in the right direction. They've just been a tad short this game.
I think as the game goes on too, the Thresh pick becomes so strong because the Darius and the Volibear will both kind of just need to run into the whole game. And the Jhin Syndra won't be able to find too much value unless the fight goes long because they are playing into a pretty tanky team. And Synopsy going for the gank top again. Nazgul going to flash in this time, though. But again, a lot of ghouls here, but Nazgul heals. Oh, tries to ult, but it isn't quite enough. Nazgul, or Lawful bleeding, but it is enough. They are able to just trade there.
No.
Joe goes down here. The hook did land. And Grant is also here. Aramis doesn't have a lot of ways to live.
No. 80 carry treatment.
That's my ADC right there. That was pretty unfortunate. The whole map kind of comes down to kill Aramis, although the Lack drops a wave mid for that.
Oh, at some point, they killed the York. I guess Synopsy finished the job.
Yeah. It was a trade top, so Lawful was still bleeding from Darius, so he kind of needed to keep fighting Synopsy. But he wasn't able to actually heal enough to survive, and Synopsy did enough damage. So that is feats now secured for Piltover. I think they feel pretty good about that. I think that they really want feats this game, especially because their comp doesn't scale amazingly into the Voids comp, but I think they will feel fine. Especially if they keep getting these objectives here. Nazgul trying to fight Lawful does a lot of damage,
it's actually looking good.
Doesn't have ultimate, though. Yeah.
Not looking good.
That's going to be difficult, although Synopsy now is running top again. They really don't want Lawful getting ahead in this game. But Lawful is just fighting back at every chance he can get. He does go down, but he did get the kill on Nazgul, so he doesn't feel horrible. They're trying to look for a kill on the Ghost Boy, but Ghost Boy should be able to live here. Yeah, that's a lot of damage at this point in the game from the Varus. If he gets those stacks off, there's basically no champion that can stand in front of him at this point in the game. The Void now playing.
Why were you saying earlier Varus is one of the hardest ADCs?
Yeah, so Varus, so it's not like Jinx or whatever where you can like cheat range, that kind of thing. So like Jinx has really long attack range. She's really fast when she gets the reset. So even a Jinx pretty far behind can do a lot of damage and just one-shot whole teams with a pentakill. You can't do that on Varus. There's no mindlessly autoing. You need to be able to auto and then get your W resets. So you have to apply your Blight 3 times from W and then hit them with an ability to get your ability cooldowns back. Otherwise, they're like 15 seconds each or something really long. And without proccing your W, you do basically no damage. So you have to land all abilities. You have no movement. Your range is good, but it's not as good as Jinx. You don't have a lot of speed or anything like that. So the champion runs into a lot of problem. It is normally pro-locked. You see a lot of Varus win rates a lot of the time being below 50% in almost every region, except when you get to pretty high elo. Varus also is really good levels 1 to or really bad levels 1 to 2 most of the time. You can go lethality. Lethality is the way of cheating your way out of playing Varus, and you just play like a poke bot laner. And I don't think that playstyle is hard to play, but actually trying to auto attack on Varus is the difficulty. It's also that thing too where there's some champions in the game like this, but if you miss one ability, then that means you might not be able to use any other abilities for the whole fight because you don't get the reset. So it's a little bit like other champions in the game where you're just so reliant on hitting every ability for a fight that if you miss one, you just lose.
It's fair.
Nintendo now looking for a pick onto Aramis here. Aramis able to survive with the cleanse. Ghost Boy trying to finish off the kill, but Aramis flashes the hook.
Flashing.
Nintendo now going to go down to the gank. They're trying to finish off Ghost Boy as well. Nazgul does have ultimate here.
Reset.
Black gets one shot. Nazgul barely able to hold on. Has to ult Lawful before he goes down. That was crazy, actually, how much damage Nazgul does.
Yeah. The 5 Darius stacks are no joke.
I actually don't even know how they plan to win the game going on there, because once it is actually a 5v5, I don't think Darius can ever actually walk into this team if it's an even fight. But I think that if they look for those little skirmishes, especially where they have numbers, then dealing with the Darius is going to be basically impossible, especially if you don't open together. But I think the Void needs to look for 5v5s at this point. Am I crazy, by the way? This is actually Grant, right?
The Kane?
Yeah.
Yes. Kane and Thalak have played 2 nights in a row because one of them is subbed for the other team, and now they're subbing the other way.
That is pretty unlucky.
Yeah. Toledo's availability isn't bad, but it's just unlucky like how it aligns up that he needed to be subbed, I think, twice. At least twice so far, if not more. Sometimes it's just how the world works.
Looks like both teams now going to start playing for
He doesn't
Otacon,
have
but
cleanse.
Aramis, yeah, without cleanse, he doesn't have a way to get out of this. Oh, but unless the whole team, nope, still not quite enough. He will go down anyway, and now the Void looking to continue the fight. Grant trying to finish off Synopsy here. Joe doing his best to peel, and they will be able to get out now, but Nintendo is headed bot side, and without Aramis alive, they might just start hitting the Otacon.
Yeah. I mean, they can try to, once they get the defense down debuff, maybe they'll try and poke them a little bit, mess with them, but they cannot. Oh, that's what you can't have happen.
They don't have a lot of damage either to try to one-shot people on it. Dandy has to find like a monster stun.
Yeah, it's really all up to Dandy.
And Nazgul unable to even get the tower here.
Oh, so you're gonna ult in? Oh. No, Synapse, no!
Yeah, I think he tried to look to just run in there and like try to smite steel, but when they actually got vision, I think he immediately realized he just couldn't do it. But that was not in time for it was not in time to run away from Ghost Boy there, who landed a really good hook. Although at least Nazgul is able to get the top turret, so they get something on the map for it.
That's true, the gold's still pretty even. 2k of each other. Oh, awful dog. Looks like he's about to kill King Nazgul.
If he kills Nazgul here, it's really bad for Piltover. Because now they need someone to kind of deal with this York. Unless they're able to find Nintendo mid, does not look like they'll be able to. Nintendo ghosting away. And now that Nazgul is dead, Nazgul with no TP, someone has to go kind of address the York, or he's going to get a lot top and a lot of pressure. And the rest of the Void can now look for a play basically anywhere, and they do have a pretty good comp to also look for a pick. Looks like they're kind of looking right now. Grant finding Joe, and Joe probably able to just run away. It really looks like the Piltover wants to get this dragon, but it's going to be really hard without dealing with the York, because York is probably just going to push down all of top. Grant fighting Synopsy, Nintendo, and the Lack trying to back him up. Grant able to heal a lot of health, but is not able to actually finish off the kills there. Looks like they're going even, but even is not what you need right now, because the York just got 2 towers, and all of a sudden he just went from almost a 2,000 gold deficit to he's now up 100 gold.
Still no dragon taken. Oh, sun landed.
I think both teams here kind of just have to play... Oh, I was going to say play passive, but does not look like Synopsy
really nice
wants that, but Synopsy immediately goes down. This is kind of the problem, I think, when you're playing a comp into this one that just wants to run in, because they're all so good at just disengaging. The Morgana's good at disengaging, the Thresh can get people out. Oh, and Ghost Boy actually kind of getting caught out here on the top side while they're hitting Dragon. They don't want to stop hitting the Dragon, though. They want to finish it. They're going to have to turn now, though. Nazgul running in has a lot of gold still. Finds the stacks on Nintendo. Nintendo will go down. Aramis trying to get away on the other side of the fight. Nazgul still able to stay alive, not able to quite take down the Lack. Is able to take down Nintendo, though. Aramis takes down Grant. On the flip side,
6 gold, the Jin.
But even though the fight is 2 for 3, it is still soul point, or 3 for 3. It is still soul point now for the Void. So I think they feel really good about that fight. And now that they don't have a losing side lane, really, I think they feel really strong going into the late game here, because I don't know how they actually plan to fight the Soul, because their 5v5 is way weaker.
Their 5v5 is weaker, and when they're 4v4 him, Yorick is just winning the game.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if Nazgul is not able to survive in the lane, like what happened earlier. He got the turret, and then Lawful found him on the way out, and just that one death resulted in 2 turrets. So I think that that kind of situation is basically worst case scenario, and the rest of his team has basically no real way to get onto the core here of the Void, because again, it's the Morgana Thresh combo, which is amazing at disengages, and then even the Kayn and Varus good at disengaging and even re-engaging if they really have to. So I don't even know what Piltover should do. I think they should play probably just to try to kill someone in a side lane over and over again. Like, once you see that Morgana bot, maybe you try to play for her. But Dandy's the only one with TP2, so it's difficult to even do that. I think you just need to look for cheap kills at this point. I think that as the game goes on, their comp is going to get worse and worse at situations. And Nazgul might get found here on the top side. Trying to get away from Nazgul, or trying to get away from Lawful, but Lawful does a lot of damage and a lot of slows. And Grant just supplying that knockup.
The opposite of what they needed. Or they needed that to happen to them. But it happened the other way. I can't speak. They got caught out when they needed to be the ones catching someone out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Speaking isn't real. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage coming from Aramis, though. That was one auto.
Oh, there's Ult out.
Nintendo looks for a pick onto Joe, but won't be able to find anything. And now, oh, what is Lawful do? Lawful is crazy.
He remembered what Sarah did to Aramis the other day. He was thinking.
That looked very similar, actually.
Yeah. He was gonna pay it forward.
Now that is mid turret secured now for the Void. They are looking really strong on the map now, and Lawful is up 3 levels over Nazgul. So in that side lane, it's gonna be so difficult for Nazgul to try to fight back. But Nazgul is going a very fast build with a lot of movement speed. Maybe that will be enough to allow him to engage in fights. But Synopsy is not nearly as fast.
Oh, run, boy, run!
Synopsy trying to get away, might get picked here in the jungle. Oh, great hook from Ghost.
Hook.
Able to secure the... Oh, almost secures the kill, but the Lack also finds an ult onto Joe. Joe does go down for Synopsy. Probably worth it. You really want Synopsy alive at this point.
Yeah. But Synopsy doesn't have ult anymore either. He had the ult to get out. What use is a Volibear without ult?
Dandy also almost went down there, too. I believe Nintendo looked for an ultimate there and almost found it. Now Nazgul trying to look to clean up after the fight, but I think that is the exact difficulty that you have. I think you have to approach from an off angle and out of vision, because you're just going to get hit in the face by Morgana Q, and there's no real outplay. Nazgul now trying to side lane. I almost think you kind of need Nazgul to be bot side and push in this bot wave, try to split the map here. But Dandy's the only one to teleport, so I understand if he doesn't want to do that. But if the Darius is unable to find pressure in the side lane, I think the situation where he's trying to walk into this team is going to be a lot worse. Now the Void playing for Vision. This is going to be their sole next dragon here, which I don't have the timer for.
Them.
Oh, the Lack finds a great bind, but this is a flank from Nazgul. Nazgul trying to take him down, but the Lack flashes away, barely able to stay alive so far, but will eventually go down to the bleed.
Nazgul dies too, though.
And Joe is also going to go down here, and although Grant may also go down trying to dive the backline in Dandy, and Synopsy is able to stay alive because of that, and that means that they have Smite. Let's see if the Void still wants to do it. They do have numbers, but it's a little bit sketchy, especially even to Syndra, who has a lot of burst damage, but You don't have Smite anymore. Although Synopsy probably going to get picked here. I think that's a really smart move from Ghost and Nintendo to stand there. To not only zone, but I think you need Nintendo to be the first one to kill him. So even if you do drag a little bit slower, I think that's a really good solution to the problem. That is Soul for them, and now they have Soul with Morgana Varus with the Hextech, which I think will probably be unplayable. That really sounds
Yeah.
unfun. Oh,
If it wasn't unplayable before.
I didn't even think of how annoying it's going to be, because Lawful can just keep applying Hextech Soul on side lanes with his ghouls and R. So not only is he going to push faster, but dealing with it is going to be really annoying because they're just going to slow you.
I think Piltover needs to start thinking about game 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you feel okay now. You know, the Yorick is gone, and I think Yorick has been a really big problem in this game. Even after trying to shut him down so much, he got ganked, what, like 6 or 7 times, and is still able to do a lot here in the late game. Still got the tower, still came back in. So I think that having that gone feels great, because there's not a whole lot of side laners that are going to be able to apply this much pressure. And just like team comp wise as well, I think that once you're out of this game, you can rework the team comp a little bit. So either you have a way to speed in, or you have a little bit more range. Obviously, it's first pick, so it's difficult to read this as well. But I think Sever would have actually been an amazing pick here. Oh, and another fight here on the top side, but Lawful is so strong.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah. Q doing...
I wonder if that ult had gone off.
Looked like Q did more damage than the R was going to do, but I don't think that can be true. Darius Ult surely does more damage. And yeah, for Piltover, I think that the Sivir allows them to run in. And even though Sivir is worse in the early game, I don't think you need your bot lane to be super strong, and Sivir is also pretty good with the Braum. It's a stable lane, and if you know you're going to play for the Darius anyway, which I don't think they actually knew, but if you're going to play for him, you should be fine. Synopsy looking for a pick here in the mid lane, but does not have enough survivability against Nintendo, who does 1 billion damage at this point in the game to health stackers. Oh, and finds a lot of damage on Joe there, too. They're not going to be able to hold that, and Danny has to flash away mid from Lawful just flash queuing. Lawful's extremely dangerous right now. Nazgul looking for a fight here, does a lot of damage with the bleed, but won't be enough. Will go down. I think at this point the Void is just monstrously ahead.
Yeah.
Even if they were even, I think I would still favor the Void because their comp is so strong in the disengage, but with this lead, it's basically impossible. Nintendo flashing forward, trying to finish off Dandy. We'll find it. Gets the fantasy points, and now they will end the game.
All right. Think about game 2, Piltover. What can you change here? No more York. Thank God.
So, importantly here, too, though, that was not exactly a commanding game. And I think that that is really what they want. As long as the game is not terribly one-sided, I think Piltover is able to just rework the comp, try to find a little bit better solutions. That doesn't mean the world is over, as opposed to, like, if in this game you lose the early game and then also lose the late game, it's like if you run an early game comp like this and then you lose early game, there's not a whole lot of adaptations that you can do. But in this situation where you actually do win the early game, maybe the next time you can draft similarly, and then draft maybe a little bit more for the 5v5.
Yeah.
What is up with the summoner spells, by the way? Do you see that on stream?
It's a bug, I guess. The post-game screenshot is always like really, really weird. I'm sure it'll be fixed. When people go in their match history and pull it from there.
Hopefully. I would imagine a lot of these stats might be wrong too, although I think it looks all correct. Yeah, this should be fine. I'm really interested now to see what Piltover decides to do for game 2. what adaptations they want to do. So that was a really early game oriented comp with a lot of winning lanes, but unable to transfer it into the late game. They didn't have a great comp to kind of speed in, and that's sort of what the comp was designed around. So maybe now they play more for the late game, more for the 5v5, or they want to make sure that they are still winning early game and then just change one or two champions to make sure that they scale a little bit better or have a better chance to 5v5. So, maybe they draft for solo lanes again. They have the winning mid and top matchup, or even if top lane is even, maybe you can gank for him again. And then in the jungle, just path upward and then have a stable bot side with a supportive ADC and then a support which works well with whatever lanes you're playing for on the top side of the map. And then I think the Void, all they want to do is just keep doing what they're doing. I think in Hextech, they're the most stable team by far. They seem to be pretty confident going into most games, even with a sub jungler this time. It still looks like they're doing pretty well. And I would actually wager that as the series goes on, they might look better because they actually didn't pick some of their signature picks, I think, in that game. So I
Yeah.
think that once they actually are able to take those picks out, they will be looking pretty strong.
Well, I do know that Ghost Boy's Thresh is kind of his like Thresh and Karma are probably his signature supports. Um, who else kind of played? And Grant played Kayn. It's not his main jungler, but it's one of his mains, I'd say. But I agree. They have a lot left. I want to see Relax Vel'Koz, Nintendo Forever's Aphelios. Want
Yeah,
to see that Lawful Dog Trundle.
I was really surprised they didn't lock Aphelios. I think Varus makes a lot of sense as that draft goes on and you see what they're going to pick. But I was honestly surprised they didn't decide to pick that after they saw the Jhin. But I mean, again, like worked perfectly, and now you have a lot of those signature champions still up for the Void, and I think a lot of them too are stylistically like if you play Aphelios and Vel'Koz together, I think that's stylistically still pretty good. Both of them having reasonable range and can work really well on disengage comps or even poke comps with the Vel'Koz. So I think the Void feels pretty comfortable. I believe they had a perfect record too, up until losing, I believe, to Blessed Isles. So I think that
I think so.
I think they are still pretty feeling pretty confident, maybe except against specifically Blessed Isles.
The first time they played Blessed Isles, their mid laner Angelica was subbed out, and
Oh,
so if you ask any Blessed Isles member, that's the reason they lost.
I believe that is their main caller too. So losing Angelica is a pretty
Yes.
big loss for them.
And this week, she had just had her wisdom teeth removed too. that game that she went like, or those 2 games this week that she went crazy.
She
If
did
she
not
can
need
do
her
that
wisdom
on
teeth.
drugs, what can she do? Drugs.
True.
Or maybe drugs are the answer to play well. I don't know.
Also, everyone may have the stream muted because we're in between events here. But for me, it says that people know your name, right? Am I able to say your name?
Mhm.
It says
Jackie.
Jackie is like peaking the desktop audio, but she's not that loud to me. Is it like super loud to people watching stream?
Hello, hello. Am I loud?
That shouldn't be loud. But like for you, it like randomly peaks sometimes, but it's not loud on my headphones, which could be like a my headphones problem. But they're monitor mics. That's what I thought, Vendetta. So or headphones, they should be fine, but that's weird. I wonder if it's like an OBS thing or something. I'm not sure.
Hmm. I don't know.
OBS just hates you.
Maybe. I use Streamlabs now. We broke up. I broke up with OBS. We used to have a thing going for a while. No longer.
You're
It's too complicated.
Streamlabs is just OBS, so you're dating like OBS's little brother or something.
I find it easier to use. Something about Streamlab. I mean, yeah, OBS was. I don't know. Maybe it's because it was the first time I was doing a streaming thing, and I just struggled for a while with OBS.
We are in draft. I did
Streamlabs,
not see
everything's
the.
intuitive.
We are in draft. I did not see the first R. I think the bands are the same. Piltover is red side now. And I think they're going red side to get the top counter pick, if I were to guess, because top was a pretty big issue last game. Oh, and they actually,
Mm.
so they don't ban Smolder this time. They ban
Can you
Yunara
stream
instead.
the
Uh,
stage?
I actually, yeah, I can kind of. 1 second. This is how
I
I'm
don't
watching
think you're
draft.
streaming it right now.
Let
Like on
me.
Twitch, it's not being streamed. I mean,
Oh, and Twitch, the draft isn't being streamed. It should be.
uh, oh, I guess I just needed to refresh it. I don't know. It looks good now.
Does this work? Okay, yeah, this is the way I'm watching draft because I'm using the inbuilt browser.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to worry about streaming this. That was just I couldn't see this.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would love for Piltover here to do some more role swapping to keep trying to find their identity. Because I think they need a little help finding it. I do think that's a King Nazgul Tom Kench. When all fails, he likes to unbench that Kench.
They might just do the Vayne Tom Kench combo bot too, because it is aggressive and it can be oppressive into champions like Smolder. And I think they want the counterpick for top, but at the same time, maybe they want a counterpick for mid instead and get a bigger lead there. I do agree with you though. I do kind of wish they would change their roles. I think they've been rocking with this for a while, but I really think they want Joe in a solo lane. Because Joe is a solo laner, right? I think he plays Poppy or something. I think that like
Yeah,
trying to throw
King
him.
Nazgul plays jungle too, and AD carry. Like I think they could do some rotations.
Yeah, I agree. I think that also though, last game they did win early game, so maybe this game they're going to try to also do the same thing. I do actually think though the Piltover comp right now is really focused on RMS and bot, so maybe that's what they want to do now. Is just like go bot over and over again. You have a really oppressive bot lane. If you get them ahead, the Smolder can really struggle for a lot of the game. And the Vayne's also going to scale pretty well. But Karma, Maokai, again, really good champions at disengage. Karma's not amazing as the game goes on, but what Karma has going for her is she is a great lane stabilizer. She can survive most lanes with almost any ADC. Piltover going Jax here. I assume that's a Jax jungle, but I think this is an interesting game to look for Jax jungle because it doesn't look like amazing in my opinion at this point. There's not a whole lot of auto attacks coming out, and I think that
Yeah, it's
Jax
a
likes playing into
weird pick
melees a lot of
there.
the time, and he cannot really jump on the void super easily.
Was that an accidental pick?
Doesn't look like they're changing it, so I don't think it was. But Jax jungle, I believe, is pretty strong right now, so maybe that's the idea behind it. Maybe you don't think you need anything. And I guess like with the Vayne too, it is going to be really, really good 3v3 bot lane if that is a Tahm Kench bot. Basically, no matter what you're into, you have the damage to kill basically anybody, and you're pretty survivable as well. No great target to go on because Vayne can get out really easily, so maybe that's the idea behind it. Piltover banning Wukong in exchange for Mordekaiser. Uh, are they going Jax top because they think it's Maokai top? I mean, it could be Maokai top, but Maokai can also jungle. But I don't think even. I guess Jax like is good into Maokai, but I don't like it wouldn't be the first like counterpick to come to mind. But I guess if Jax gets ahead in the side lane this game, like even last game, I think Jax would have been super strong if he gets ahead. But in this game, if Jax gets ahead in the side lane like he did last game, I think he'll be looking really well. But I don't know if you can leave a Vayne alone with a Tahm Kench for a lot of the game. But I guess you can. Like they're never going to get dove, but she's not going to be able to be like the oppressive bot lane they could be. But I guess you can also just play for the Jax. There's no way Lawful's locking Maokai top this early though, right? Surely.
That could also be their jungler. I think they're flexing it between the two right now.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure it's jungle, but I think Piltover may have read it as but I just don't see the Jax jungle angle either. I don't know. I will see because I don't understand either draft. Either way, because Maokai jungle is he's okay, but a lot of the time he is not as good as other junglers. He's really good at disengaging, and I guess he is good with Smolder because of that. But they actually lock the Vel'Koz here for the lack, and they have Smolder playing with it, so
Oh,
a super long range and really, really stable comp to poke with and play. So I kind of understand the Maokai there. It's a really strong neutral game, but Maokai can be really weak sometimes in the jungle versus champions that have fast clears and champions that can look to invade because he's not super strong early.
yeah. I don't think he's trying to be a strong character. He's just trying to stand in front of his thick boy. I mean, his baby boys on that team, the Smolder and the Vel'Koz.
They lock Trundle, and I don't I don't want to be rude
Hmm.
about the Trundle pick, but I don't think it matters where Trundle is going. That champion cannot do anything this game. Um, into Jax, it's really bad. Into Vayne, it's really bad. Into Tom Kench, it's really bad. It can be good into Lux if Lux like misses binding or something, but it's not ideal into Lux either. And I think that might be a Trundle jungle, which would be into the Jax jungle. So it is, but maybe they do it Trundle top because I think it was Maokai top initially. Like that was the idea. Maokai's not a super traditional jungler.
You know what? It has to. Grant is subbing for Toledo right now, and Toledo has only played jungle. Um, so and Grant does not play Trundle, so that has to be Trundle top, and Maokai on Grant on Maokai in the jungle.
It could also be a really good read because the third pick on Maokai there for the Void, oftentimes I read that as oh, you're like, we're playing blue side, we're not getting counterpick for top anyway, let's just pick it on 3 and then we could pick for something else later, right? But maybe this is a really good read because if Piltover didn't call that or they didn't draft for that, they lock Jax for the jungle, which is a crazy tongue twister. And once they do that, the Void might know that Jax is jungle, so they lock Trundle there, or maybe they know Nazgul doesn't play Jax. But if they just move the Jax top here and then lock a jungler on 5, Piltover, there is no one who can match Jax top because it's super good into Trundle and it's super good into Maokai.
I am quite patient.
Obviously better into
Yeah, I'm
Trundle than it
surprised
is
they
into
didn't
Maokai,
pivot
but
there.
there's like no solution.
It could be Garen jungle, no? Crazy plot twist. Is he still able to jungle?
Yeah. But I would honestly, if they were going to do that, I would more expect like a Mundo jungle, to be honest, because Garen's like clear speed and stuff isn't what it really used to be compared to champions like Mundo. But I would almost say just going like a traditional jungler here would be better. Maybe you don't want to lock like the
Yeah,
Sedge into
I
Trundle,
agree.
but like, oh, maybe like, okay, this is obviously not what they're doing. This would be like a crazy read. But Garen's W is a flat damage reduction. I don't think it's armor. So that means that into Trundle, you're not giving Trundle any stats. So if you want to lock the Garen into the Trundle, you don't need to lock a tank. So you lock Garen so you have the damage resistance and you don't give Trundle a bunch of armor and everything. That's definitely not what they're doing, but that's what they maybe did.
Hey, you don't know is not what they're doing. How do you know that? These guys are mega cooking right now. They're master chefing.
I do like
just
that.
They're humble customers.
I do like that Piltover at least has like more range and they scale better. I think that the Garen is going to have the exact same problem though last game that Darius did, where like you have to walk into the Voids comp and the Voids comp is impossible to walk into. 4 of those champions are really good at disengaging people just walking at them, and then there's Trundle too. I think I think Garen into Trundle is still like slightly Trundle favored, but it's not as bad as the other ones. So I don't think Garen feels amazing, but I also don't think Trundle feels amazing. I think those two picks are a little bit off for both teams, to be honest. But if they do actually rotate that Garen into jungle, it's gonna be like a monster idea. It is Grant playing Maokai. I think he did lock the Maokai. So it is Trundle top. And I don't remember who was in what position on the other side here.
If it's Trundle top, it has to be Lawful Dog on top.
Yeah, it is Trundle top
Grant
for sure.
is locked to jungle.
Now it's just where is that Jax? I have a feeling it is a Jax jungle, which I think is missing out on a
Piltover
beautiful
could do
opportunity,
some
but
wacky stuff with that team. like somebody said put the Vayne top and Lux Tom Kench bot.
It's actually Tom Kench jungle the whole time.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. We're gonna find out.
I will be right back super shortly. Give me 1 second.
All right. You guys want a prediction? I could put one of those up. Ooh, who won game 2 last night of Blessed Isles versus Targa? It was Blessed Isles. Nobody voted on it anyway. All right. Left is a void. Right is pill. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. There you go. Gamba time. If I had to place money, I would probably root for. I mean, obviously, I'm a little biased here. I'm gonna be rooting for the Void. Boyfriend's on that team, and that team is full of homies right now. Grant's subbing for Fleeto, so it's a homie for homie exchange. Uh, I just got more buddies on the Void, but I love a lot of people on Piltover too. We got some friends on both sides. Team comp wise, uh, I don't know. I think they're both very weird. The Trundle pick is a little suspect here with what they're trying to do with the Void. Like, I just thought they'd pick another team fighter or something. Mm. Dandelions on his Lux. King Nazgul's on his Garen. Well, he definitely has a Garen. I don't know if it's his Garen. Lawful Dog's crying in the corner because he stole his Garen. I guess it's Cup of Joe on the Tom Kench. I think I'm pro Void in my heart and in my brain here. I like their team comp more. They have some pretty good peel. They have like people that are gonna try to get to the back line, but they have ways of stopping them. If this Garen or Jax get like ahead though, it could be really rough for them, I think.
I have returned.
Hello. Alright, I put up a little poll. People actually predicted stuff. Oh boy. We have one person who's predicted on either way. But who do you think is gonna win this? Just I was saying I feel more strongly about the Void.
Let me wait until the loading screen and see where the Jax is.
That's a good point.
Do you need me to stream the game again?
If that's okay. If it didn't impact your streaming last time, that would be better. My computer just could not keep up.
There we go. We are in the game now.
It is. Oh, it is Jack's jungle. So it's not
Oh,
what you wanted.
I don't think they're going to win. Oh my god, the Void got an order. I think the Void's going to win. The Void's my favorite team, actually. Interesting fact. I've always loved the Void.
I'm mixed about whether I think we should get them in order. That's more like tournament style, like professional, like college tournaments do that. Oh, a little invade going on here.
There's two reasons to
know?
do it. Oh, this is a smart invade, I think. but they're not going to find anyone because they just walked on vision. They probably want to get a ward down or something, though.
Armin gets a little mana flow.
They big at
Yoink.
2 mana flows, game is over. That's 50 mana right there. So I think that... So there's 2 reasons to get in order, right? One is just because everyone has to reorganize the scoreboards anyway. But 2, and this is kind of the bigger reason, if everyone gets an order, it's easier to automatically take the games from the right API and just put them into sheets. I think you can do it otherwise, and it might be easy otherwise, but I don't think it's easy to do on roll in that automatic way. And I think that automatic way would make like the stat sheet way easier to do.
Well, if you're doing it through Excel, as long as the names aren't changing each time, you can use like a lookup table and it won't matter.
I think the problem is if people roll swap, though. Then like you have to change the roll for every individual player. Whereas like if it's an order, you can it will just do it for you. There's a really big fight in the top lane here, but I guess we want to see this little trade bot. Nazgul almost goes down, flashes away, might have to recall. I think he has potion ticking, so maybe not. But without teleport, falling behind in this lane is going to be really tough.
Oof, poked out by his karma. Tom Kench can't really do much but stick at his tongue every couple of seconds.
I feel bad for Nazgul.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised they didn't put Jax top. And I'm surprised they they locked Jax that early if the intention wasn't for top. Because Jax jungle like that, I feel like jungle's a really dynamic role. You can lock so much stuff for it. And locking Jax is like... Jax feels like a more situational jungle, not just like one that works all the time. I think if you're just going to pick a champion a little bit similar to Jax, then you kind of just go Xin Zhao, who's applicable to a lot more games, but I guess you don't really have an enchanter, so maybe you don't want to. I think Jax also wants an enchanter, though.
Yeah, I don't think King Nazgul plays a lot of Jax. I've definitely seen him play it before. I do know he hates that champion. So it might just be out of like spite that he doesn't want to take it top. Oh, Tom Kench going in here.
Joe looking for an engage. They win really hard early. There's no damage that can be traded back. And another gank on the top side here for the second game in a row. They find a lot of damage onto Lawful, and Lawful will go down. And
they forgot to set down the temp from last game.
The side on Piltover, though, needs to play really carefully. They know Maokai has to be down here because Jax just showed top. Ghost Boy looking for an engage. We may see a flash root here from Greg. Oh! Good call. They should be able to take Joe down here. Joe trying to flash away. Won't be enough. Nintendo gets the kill. They need to back up bot there. They especially on this timer, like that is the exact timer that Maokai should be bot on.
Yeah, I'm surprised they were so far forward without wards there.
So the Jax does go top there. Gets Garen a little bit back into the game. He is still, I believe, down in level and only up 90 gold. So really not going to be a whole lot going on there. And actually, I do like 2 longswords way over boots and 2 daggers. I think 2 longswords at this point in the game is going to feel a lot more impactful. So Nazgul definitely is still has his work cut out for him. Synopsy's just staying top. Oh, Synopsy. Lawful going for a kill on Nazgul. I think it's going to work with this gank. Oh, a good attempt from Lawful.
Poor guy. He's trying so hard to play, and he's just 2v1ing all night.
The thing is, though, that death feels bad, but Synopsy is on first recall at 5 minutes. Like, 1 minute and 30 behind some junglers. So, like Briar and Zyra, for example, can both clear the jungle and do scuttle at this time and then back. And then even then they can do a gank and then back at like 350, right? So you're
but he was even with that Maokai. They were both at 29, 28 a couple of seconds ago.
If you look at where they are in the jungle, though, Maokai's 2 full camps ahead right now. In terms of tempo, or if he's clearing right, I think he may have messed up something on Wolves. Wolves shouldn't take this long theoretically. But so because Maokai is ahead, he's going to be able to regank bot first. So the gold won't actually matter. It's just like the tempo. And interrupting these clears is pretty bad. Like neither jungler wants to just like leave, and then Synopsy actually did interrupt his first clear to go for Krugs. So even if like the CS is even the XP and their tempo won't be.
Oh,
And yep, 2 long swords.
Grundle, the trolls are going to war.
We could have put the Jax top. All of Trundle's damage, I think, is locked behind auto attacks except for his ult. So I think if you just put Jax there, like even if he doesn't play Jax, I don't think that's losable.
Yeah, I mean he plays Jax enough to win a matchup as him. I'm curious what happened here.
Maybe it's the tech. Maybe they give Garen Smite halfway through the game.
Oh, you're so right.
Oh,
Tom Kench is going in.
that's a lot of damage on a Ghost
AD
Boy. You
carry
can't
is
find the
out.
Q though. Nintendo also doing a lot of damage here. Them not getting ahead here, bot. They got the lead early, but they didn't call the gank from Grant. And now if they lose bot, it's going to be really hard because they're winning top, but top is super unstable as we've seen. We're very much not comfortably winning top. And with Maokai hovering here on the map often, it's going to be really hard for them to want to look for too much stuff on the bot side at this point.
Well,
Synopsy
his
is
friend
here again.
Here.
So, oh, they're going to try to dive Lawful. I guess they don't know how far Grant is ahead of Claire, because Grant is topside, but it will work in the end. I don't know if Grant wins that. Grant is level 5.
I don't think so at all.
I need to go back. Well, I won't actually do this because I don't care enough. I need to look at the clears. Because even though Synopsy is a, full 2 minutes late on these clears, Grant is also like a minute 30 or something late on clears too. So I think Grant may have interrupted them to do something, but the gank bot didn't interrupt anything. Oh, and Joe trying to solo kill the other support, but Nintendo is coming back.
Smolder's almost there. You might get the kill.
Oh, really good body blocking from Nintendo though. Aramis trying to ghost in.
Main's in.
Tries to kill Ghost. Will actually find a kill and barely lives.
1 HP. That's so sad. Nintendo wants it.
Honestly though, Aramis just got back to lane. I think he has to back now. I think Nintendo should just pick up the wave and just be happy with how this went.
Oh,
I don't
Joe might win this one though.
Oh!
Oh!
That's so bad now. You lose that wave.
Frogs
and,
are better than dragons.
All of a sudden, Piltover feels a lot better about the game. And they take down Synopsy here on the top side. Oh my god, even though they were playing for topside this whole game, Synopsy, they still lose the fight on Grubs here. That feels really bad.
This is what happened last game too. They're playing so hard to shut down Lawful, but Lawful does not care.
Yeah,
He's
he just wins anyway.
Farming. He just still is ahead.
I think that makes the game just so hard where you feel like you don't really have a win condition, really.
Yeah, and if you weren't up there camping, he might have just lost lane like crazy.
Lawful is a little bit hard to kill at this point. Oh, a great combo there from Black. Will go down to Synopsy, though, but Ghost Boy is also here on the backside. This may be the messiest fight I've ever seen in my life. Although Lawful able to just probably go top here and start hitting minions. He has to be really quick on it, though. He has the ward there by Grubs, but they're definitely going to try to come top to stop him, I think, from getting the next wave in. Ghost Boy trying to solo kill Dandy. Oh my god. Tries to flash in, get the damage. Isn't quite enough.
These supports are so bloodthirsty. Dandy going back.
Joe trying to solo kill Ghost now. Oh my god. Synopsy having to hover. Oh. And both junglers, I think, that second clear I was talking about, they're both still on that second clear. Like, obviously, they've hit more stuff since then. I don't think they've actually completed a full third clear yet. Farm is fake. It's not real. Oh!
Grant?
Lawful going down, actually, to the Ignite and ult from Nazgul. And Grant does do 0 damage to Nazgul. So, that is a... I think that's a big kill there, because now, hopefully, he should be self-sufficient in top. Lawful won't be able to play. Oh, they're actually geniuses. Jax wins against Trundle really hard, so the Jax is actually playing top lane this game. You just don't know.
I was thinking that. It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna take Jack's top, but I'm gonna take Jack's top. Over and over and over.
I think Jax's gank top more than any other lane has been ganked combined.
Yeah, it's been at least 3, if not 4 times.
Lawful not having a glorious time here.
I mean, if you get shit on like camp top and you still win the game, it sucks, but you won.
I also think
We're the sacrificial lamb.
Dandy being able to... Oh, Synopsy almost going down. I think Dandy being able to stabilize mid, though. He's a little bit behind, but it's going to be like what? Oh, it's 600 gold, actually, so it's more than it looks like, but I think that's from plates or something. Not sure what that's from. But he's able to stabilize mid against the Lux main champion here, which I think feels great for him because I think if mid lane loses this game, the game becomes immediately completely unplayable. But because that's stable, I think that you can play for bot side maybe a little bit. I think you...
that, Lux is also Dandy's main champion. Or one of his mains.
I'm actually not sure about Danny's mid pool. I think it is one of Danny's main champions, but I don't know if Danny plays at support or mid, maybe both.
I think he plays it both. But he's a mid laner at heart.
I believe it. I think that Dandy had, if I remember on the draft sheet, he had support and mid as his main roles, but I think he has more time on mid, but I'm not actually...
Yeah, I
haven't
think
looked at the
that's
account long enough. Also, if Nazgul doesn't win 1v1, he, I think that means a lot for the game because then you can't really start playing for the Vayne. And you really want to do that. Synopsy is top again. They're looking to dive Lawful. I don't even know if they can, though. They don't actually have... Oh, actually, Synopsy has a lot of gold.
Lawful has a ward up there. Oh, like dive?
Yeah.
They look like they gave that up.
I think it was a good idea, actually. I was going to say I don't think they have the damage because Nazgul has no completed item yet. But with Synopsy's Triforce, they definitely could if they want to, but I don't think they were able to get the wave in safely. Oh, Dandy does go down to the Lack, and the Lack gets a shutdown, actually. Well, wait, how much gold is the Lack ahead now? That is not going to be a small amount after this next wave gets in, but we're going to have a fight bot first here. Nope. Looks like Joe just looked for an engage, wasn't able to find it, but is playing Tom Kench, so takes 0 damage. Wow, mid lane is now 1,200 gold apart. That is rough.
1,200 gold.
Yeah.
That's my man.
And the Lack also...
He loves his focus. Oh no, not the Jack's top again, please. Somebody save Lawful Dog. He can't take this anymore, this treatment.
Hopefully Lawful is going to be able to keep the mental in there, because Lawful's still able to come back last game as it went on.
Oh, Bane ulting.
I don't think either side is going to, result in anything here.
Yeah. Both ults down for the 80 carries.
Oh, and then Grant is down here looking for a gank. They find the root onto RMS, but RMS is pretty safely out. They will be able to take down Joe, though. Nintendo is on only 93 stacks, actually. I thought it would be more at this point.
Hey, well, we're at 14. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought she'd be a little closer to at least 125.
I think it's because in lane, it's so dangerous to trade against these two. Oh, Ghost Boy might go down here. Nazgul is down here for some reason. Oh. And they don't suspect Nazgul being here. Which I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
Now Dandy gonna TP top. I think overloading aside.
Oh, nice little knock up there. Steve.
I think overloading aside here is okay, but they use their only teleport to do that. And with neutral objective, it's gonna be kind of hard to fight over them now. Nazgul, though, just gonna hit turrets. That will probably be a turret for Rift Herald, which I think Void is happy with taking, actually, given that they are behind, so maybe they can look for a turret with it. Normally, a turret is not worth giving up for Rift Herald, but if you're even in a game looking to trade like this, is a good idea.
Nice little trade.
So I think Nintendo here can't really look for like super safe trades, especially earlier in that lane, because if the Vayne ever can gap close on you, you lose the all-in so hard on Smolder, especially versus the Tahm Kench. So you kind of have to play a little bit more passive than you would against other lanes. I think that's why the stacks are a little bit lower, but not entirely sure why. Nazgul is on an off angle here. He is on vision. The Lack is a little bit caught out. We're going to have a fight mid, though. Aramis trying to engage on Ghost Boy. Ghost Boy is kind of caught out now, though. Nintendo, unable to quite finish off a kill, has to flash away from Joe's knockup, and Aramis able to get out. A flash engage from Synopsy. Oh, able to take Nintendo down there. But it will be traded, though, for a big shutdown on a Nazgul. And the shutdown went to Lawful. Oh, no. I think I've seen this one.
Uh-oh. Yeah, the king is back. Or the big dog. You shut him down all you want, and then he gets one little kill, and he's just a monster again. Oh,
The Lack
Synopsy's
does
in there.
so much damage with that alternator. Although we're going to have a little bit of a fight here. Dandy unable to
You got
quite
ult?
take him down. And then in Drag Pit, Grant
Grant
having to
lives.
flash away, and then Synopsy going down.
Oh, nice.
Re-engage from Lawful, isn't able to find anything. Grant is, able to smite steal
Oh,
and secures it. That was a good call from Grant because Synopsy died. I think that Piltover would have been able to just turn there and force him out, but because he doesn't, I think Grant has a really good punish there to just take it from them.
Yeah, that was a really good steal. Risky, but he did it.
Now, Nazgul should still be ahead in gold, but it's a 1,300 gold lead there. And he closed, I believe it was a bigger gap last game. But actually, bot lane has a 1,200 gold difference as well. And if you include supports, it's 2,200. Side lane's going to struggle maybe
Vayne
a little bit here.
chunked.
Nintendo has got 50 stacks in 3 minutes.
Is he building Triforce on Vayne right now? Is that what that phage is?
I'd kind of hope not, but I don't know what else it could be. You do kind of build Triforce sometimes on Vayne, but you build it first, I'm pretty sure. If you're going to go an on-hit build, you just dedicate to the on-hit build, right? Is this the Vayne thing? Is this a new Vayne thing?
I know going that other item is a big thing right now. What's it called? The one that gives you like ult cooldown and attack speed when you ult.
Oh, something plate. Hex plate, yeah.
Hex plate, yeah. That's really big.
Vayne ghosting directly on a ghost. This is kind of why Vayne can run away with games here.
Oh my
Ghost
god, is he out?
barely able to get out, though.
Like Zoe Scoob!
Not even close. And then now Grant trying to take some stuff. Bot lane here. The Lack is kind of hovering nearby, but I think they may want to go mid to make sure they can hold the tower. Yeah, Grant isn't on this team. He's subbing. For Toledo, I believe.
Yep.
Looks like we're just going to have Piltover securing Otacon here. Grant doesn't want to give it up for free, but I don't think he will have an option. They're going to try to engage here, but... Oh, they are able to actually burst Joe down at the beginning, so maybe they can keep looking, but the Otacon debuff is gone.
Yeah, and so is their Vel'Koz ult.
They might try to do a 5v4 dive here, to be honest. Oh, they're definitely not going to anymore. I think Slack is barely able to hold on there. They call to go mid. I think this is a good idea. Ghostboy playing pretty strong with vision this game. All the entrances warded most of the time, but Joe's warding on that top side there is super good at this specific timer. Void able to get mid. I think this is a really good macro call. Instead of just compensating on the top call, they go for that. Synopsy, I don't think will be able to find anything here. He might actually... I don't think he'll die, but yeah. Pretty hard to kill these two. I do like the switch. So instead of trying to go for the dive top, they flip the map there and take mid instead. It's normally a better idea to do that instead of just try for a play that's already dead.
Oh.
Nazgul...
So Hextech plate alternator builds out of Phage, I guess?
Yeah, it does. It's kind of like a half tank item. It doesn't give a lot of attack speed any base. I'm not sure how much it gives. But when you ult, it gives you a lot of attack speed, which is the idea.
Oh, Ghostboy dead.
And ulted out by Joe.
Vayne ulted.
I think being a little bit tankier this game is probably a good idea too. Okay, it gives you 20% base attack speed. Oh, the
no,
Locket
poor
and
little
Dove mid.
Vel'Koz.
Piltover may be about to run away with this game. I think when you start seeing like this amount of control from a team, the game becomes a lot harder. So Piltover, they also have a better 5v5 comp this game than they did last game. And because they were able to get Nazgul so far ahead, they should also have a winning side lane there. But actually, the gold lead top still keeps collapsing. It's only 600 gold now. And actually, there's no item threshold that Nazgul has over Lawful now. Lawful actually kind of looking to solo kill Nazgul all of a sudden. I don't think he'll be able to find it. Or he shouldn't be able to,
Well,
anyway.
it's not a solo kill.
Yep.
He's got friends here. It's this turn to get the ganks.
Lawful feels very nice about this. And all of a sudden, I think that top lane, the gold lead might completely switch, to be honest, because it's only 300 gold now, and I don't think Lawful will be able to get 2 towers, but he'll be able to get this wave in at least. It'll be basically 0. The jungle gold gap is also basically 0. Mid lane's only 200. The ADC one is still the big one. It's 1200. But again, the thing about Smolder is he's more so playing around his stack timer at this point in the game rather than playing around his gold. And Nintendo was getting a lot of stacks earlier there. Nintendo now on 175. So getting pretty close actually now. Maybe looking to complete. I think it's a little bit behind schedule, but this lane was hard, so maybe they're looking to complete it like at a 28, maybe 29.
Definitely behind schedule for that Smolder. I think like 22 is like the latest you want it, and then 20 is ideal or something.
Oh.
Oh, Ghost Boy. Probably. Oh, not now with that Vayne.
We'll definitely go down. Yeah. Oh, Vayne, Aramis going to try to keep going here, but we'll get hit by a lot of CC, maybe a little bit too far. It has to be ulted out by Joe.
By Joe.
Synopsy trying to keep going in the fight, but the Lack barely able to hold on. Nazgul coming from the other side. Grant able to take down Aramis in the backline there. But although the rest of the Void is taken down, looks like Lawful now is trying to maybe push mid as Grant is going to go down later in this fight. Oh no, Grant.
They can't keep all these like divers off their carries.
I think they actually should win that fight theoretically if Ghost doesn't go down earlier there in the fight. Yeah,
he's their main like beat up. He's their way to get away from those engagers.
He's also going the team fight oriented Karma build, the Enchanter one, which I think is like what you go most of the time anyway. But I think Ghost can supply a lot to the disengage. And Vayne actually is no great way to deal with her most of the time. Although Ghost, a little bit scary there. But
playing with fire.
Oh, Lawful is going to get fought here by Aramis one-on-one. Aramis with a great pin against the wall. Lawful needing to flash away. And actually Baron secured for Piltover. I think this game might be wrapped up now for Piltover. I think Lawful kind of looking for to get pressure on the map there, but wasn't able to find anything. And because Grant
Oh.
was walking from spawn, able to just
Goes
do
by
Baron there.
flashing. He actually lives. I thought he was dead for sure.
And Grant's going to try to come finish off the kill. I cannot imagine these two have the damage between them to kill him.
Yeah, he like gave up and just went to Krugs. I think that was the right call.
He has Leandries, so like maybe, but Garen does have Conqueror, so if he gets that stacked, he might not actually be able to outdamage it. So the game was looking a little bit up for the Void earlier, but it has kind of imploded now over about the last 5 minutes, and now the gold difference on ADC is 2,000. But that's not really where the biggest change has been. It's been the rest of the sides of the team here, where it's at least 1,000 gold on every roll now.
Yeah, I think Big Smolder is the only thing that can save the Void right now.
205, so not feeling
He's almost there.
too
Or
bad.
she's almost there.
The camera really likes looking at Smolder. I clicked on Smolder at the beginning there, but it didn't want to move away. Arcane has a high-level bot to record the game at least, or to stream it. Oh, and Ghost's going to go down here. That's going to be a really hard timer to die on now because they have to try to defend the base against Baron. 4v5. Grant walked through a ward, though. So Grant might just go down. Oh, great play from Grant.
Huge Q. Yeah, the bot that's recording the Arcane game can't, like, it can't record audio. So even if I was in there casting with it, because it started the cast, you wouldn't be able to hear me. So we would have to cancel the stream and then put it back out. Which I guess we could have, but oh well.
Or Arcane.
Yeah.
And that is a game that we can also cast afterwards anyway. I won't look at the results, but I would guess Ionia won.
I would assume
that would be like
too.
I will watch it because that'd be an interesting one to see if there's a turn of events or something. Ooh,
Yeah, Ionia wins and then we win.
Joe almost gets caught here, but has to flash out. Grant now kind of in the middle of the fight, exactly where he wants to be. A lot of people hit by Nintendo there. Nintendo has to be close to full stacks now. Nintendo actually is at the threshold, but it won't matter. It's just at the end of the game here, and the game will probably end. Yeah, Lawful needs to teleport back, but I think Lawful is doing the top laner thing where he got ganked enough, and now you're just hitting towers.
Yeah, I mean, him being in base, it probably wouldn't change anything.
I think maybe during the fight it could have changed something, but yeah, at this point definitely not.
Yeah. Alright, game 3 it is.
Piltover hanging on against the tournament favorites right now for Hextech, so feels pretty good for them. I think in terms of game count, is Targon behind Piltover now? Piltover and Targon definitely at the bottom, though, I believe at this point. So those two, definitely the underdogs in these kind of games, and they're actually able to take the second game off the Void here. The stats will work someday, surely.
At least the summoner spells.
Nope.
Oh. I mean, I guess the summoner spells are right. It's the. No, it is the summoner spells. What are those called? The runes?
Yeah, I think the runes are correct. They look all good.
Yeah. Summoner spells are not.
That was a good prediction for Piltover to win.
Yeah, they got a lot of ear off that. But it was just, I think, 2 people
The
against each
tournament
other.
is rigged. The script was
That's
leaked.
right.
Not sure how long we're gonna have in between the draft and the game here. Hopefully they're not already in draft. They are not. Looks like we're getting in order here. Gonna take a little bit. I'm getting invited to ARAM.
Alright, let's play Aram instead. We don't
Yep.
need to watch game 3.
Stream's
We've
over. Just
seen
gonna go
enough.
play ARAM.
Yeah. GG.
Piltover having a crazy comeback from game 1 to 2, though. I like that they changed their comp from like a really hard engage comp with not a whole lot of range to a pretty stable comp there that can do multiple things. They play also for Nazgul, who's able to carry the lead top lane and at least stabilize. And then bot lane RMS was able to get a pretty big lead without jungle intervention. And Synopsy keeping even tempo with Grant. I really need to look at the replay with that jungle pathing because I have no idea how that happened. Looks like we will be getting in draft soon. I do think Snowy is insane, though.
Yeah. I'm glad he's getting to actually, like, show his skills here in the Hextech bracket.
I think
He always
Snowy...
plays well, but he doesn't play like an MVP kind of player, where he has been here.
Yeah, I think Snowy and Angelica both probably the best on roll for Hextech at this point. It's kind of hard to say, though, because sometimes when your mid laner is so good, it like can make jungle look very different.
Yeah.
But I think both of them are looking fantastic through the entire tournament. I would imagine the ban's probably going to stay the same now since we saw the Smolder come out. So yeah, gonna ban Yunara instead. See what the Void's plan is now. Last game on the blue side didn't look as strong. Maybe they do really want to counterpick top now. But they do know Piltover's plan for sure, right? Like they know Piltover is just going to probably path top over and over again, make sure Nazgul gets a lead, shut Lawful down, and then Aramis might be able to get a lead anyway. And then mid lane just has to be stable, and that looks to be a pretty winning strategy for them at the moment. Piltover locking Amumu first. I like the idea. Amumu can be played with almost every champ or every comp. He can be played with a neutral engage comps or really anything. I think that he can get outpaced by some junglers or outvalued by others who have a more reliable way to engage and stuff like that. But honestly, I think that below like GM games, I think Amumu is probably super good for team play in almost every situation.
Mm.
The Void locking Caitlyn. I like the idea.
Void on Caitlyn. Okay. I wonder what Ghost Boy's playing here.
Lux is gone. And I don't know if Ghost Boys plays Zyra, but I would imagine it's going to be a poke bot lane. Karma's also gone.
Yeah. Karma Thresher, his like main too. Yeah, I would expect it to be some poke. Some sort of poke thing.
Is that a Karthus jungle? What? Karthus jungle this early is like I mean, I guess it's fine because you see the Amumu, but if you have losing lanes, Karthus jungle can struggle really hard.
Yeah, that's a pick.
I think it should be theoretically fine though, as long as your lanes can be stable, and you should. Oh, they lock Nautilus. I think Nautilus might actually struggle a little bit here. Not amazing into Caitlyn because her attack range is so long. She has movement in her kit. And she's not hypermobile like something like Lucian or Vayne, so just pressing R does not get as much value as some of those other ADCs. And then Karthus, I don't even think Nautilus is good into Karthus actually, because not super lane dominant. And on top of that, even if you hook Karthus, you're hooking a Karthus, so might not be great. They lock Ezreal on Piltover, so I think Piltover has okay, Piltover might be geniuses here. Maybe the Nautilus is not for lane. The Nautilus could just be like maybe secondary go maybe like Deep Ward and then Ravenous Hunter and then just run around the map at Mach 5 post like level 3 and just look to gank every lane. And then Ezreal
We've
is
also
super
seen
stable.
some Nautilus mid from Lemur, I believe, is the one that played that.
That sounds like a pick.
Yeah, it was a pick. So it could be. Who knows what that Nautilus means? Could be anything.
Anything at all. Surely it's not support. I mean, I guess it like what would be like more likely than Nautilus mid would be a Mumu support Nautilus jungle, but Nautilus jungle has not looked good.
After this draft, I have to go let my dog out because something he needs to go take care of something. He's letting me know that.
He's a king.
I will stay to the end. He'll be okay, I hope.
I would imagine he will be okay.
Yeah, he did poop before this game. I was so proud of him. He's a very good boy. Yeah.
He's carrying.
Yeah, he's carrying.
I think Lissandra ban here is a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, Balak that's one of his his champs he likes to squeak out. Silas is still up. That's his other Silas, Lissandra, Belkaz, and Sion are his real true mid laners. Oh, he locked into Sion already. Oh. That's Sion mid again. Probably. They probably could flex it top.
Not the. Okay, I
you
like.
Played it mid before.
Unironically, I like the Sion mid. I think it's fine. Is Anivia out? Doesn't he play Anivia? He does, right?
Icy Infusion plays Anivia, not
Not the
at least
lag.
I
Okay.
haven't seen him play it. Maybe he does.
So I think that like mid lane is for sure going to be stable, and I think that mid lane not getting a lead might make the game harder. I think the Alistar pick will make bot lane super safe. I just think that you should be trying to play to win bot lane, to be honest, when you see that Nautilus pick there. I think the Nautilus pick could be punished by something else, at least, but I think the Alistar gives your team like some form of engage. Oh. Hui. Yeah, Hui super good into the Scion. And the set blind. This top counter pick is going to matter. Right now, I definitely favor Piltover's draft more. I think it's, okay, mechanically not easier to execute for sure. Mechanically
I just
pretty
hate
hard.
the Karthus. I hate the Karthus pick.
I honestly,
Why?
I like the Karthus pick. I think it's a good idea because if both junglers here, I think if they, either jungler just like keeps up tempo the whole game and just focuses on like not feeling pulled to lanes and stuff like that, and they just clear, they will be like 3 levels up at 15 minutes or something insane. The problem though is that Caitlyn, I feel like Caitlyn with no other ranged pressure bot is so weak as a solo damage carry. And she's not going to scale super well into the game, so you kind of want to like win lane with that pick a lot of the time. And if you're going to do a safe bot lane pick, anyway, and you're gonna do the Scion, you might as well just lock Scion on 2, in my opinion, and then do like an actual ADC, not an actual ADC, but like a team fight ADC, maybe like do Jinx or something, right, on 3, and then play for a safe lane in that way. But now they have 3 Omega frontline tanks, like no bruisers, nothing like that. They just have 3 strong engaged tanks, and it's basically going to be Karthus solo damage up until like 4 items, because Caitlyn is not going to be amazing at applying her damage in these team fights up until a later level, especially into the comp they're into, where just like trying to walk into that as a Caitlyn's going to be kind of annoying. If you just need to auto like 1,000 times in a fight, because you are playing against an Amumu Nautilus, and then you're outranged by Hui and Ezreal, so you can't really safely auto at any point.
This Ezreal is gonna have a real hard time killing all those tanks.
Honestly, I don't even think they need Ezreal too. With the Amumu on with Leandries and everything. And then Hui, I think they will do a lot of damage, and then Set. Actually, some people like Set a lot into tanks because of his W true damage. And then he can build Bork, but I don't know if I've ever seen Bork do amazing. So I do like Piltover's draft more, but I think the Void's draft is one of those drafts where if they get ahead, like if those tanks get big leads, especially earlier in the game, they might kind of just be impossible to kill for the entirety of the game.
Yeah. I'm a Void supporter. I can't go against Steve.
I cannot imagine why. It's a mystery. Also, do you need to go walk dog?
I do. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. I just started the prediction too. If anybody wants to predict who's gonna win.
Okay, I
Exciting
will
game 3.
also be right back super quick.
Zero casters, let's go!
I have a BRB screen.
I assure you, I am quite patient.
Howdy fuddly.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. Want me to wait while you go get them?
Afraid of the dark. My countermeasures are ready, even if you are not.
foolish child.
It is all you have.
Who questions my ability?
Okay, I am back. I definitely should have played some music. I did not even think about it. Got about a minute 20. Let me go back to this screen here and make my own predictions about how the game is going to go. I think on paper, Piltover has a better draft, but I think that you have to identify why the draft is better. And that is because you have the damage, and if the enemy team has to walk into you, they should lose. However, if they don't identify that, and they might not because they have two engaged champions with them, with the Mumu and Nautilus, if you try to engage on the Void's front line, you might just die, to be honest, over and over again. And the Void is going a weak side top laner this time in Malphite, and the way Piltover has been able to win previously is by just pathing top. And they could do that because Lawful was not playing, traditional weak side champions like tanks or, Cassante, Sign, that kind of thing. But he is playing Malphite this game, so he should be able to survive top. And Piltover won't be able to get a lead probably as big in other lanes because we will probably see the Void pathing down. And if Caitlyn gets ahead, that will be like huge for the damage, that kind of thing. But the thing is, if that Nautilus hooks 4 members of the Void, it's really, really bad for Piltover. And I would almost bet money we're going to see that happen a few times because we're going to see the set and the Amumu wanting to engage. And, you know, maybe you see your backline like with the Ezreal and the Hui and like, oh, it's like we want to like be frontline for them, right? And then if they play too aggressively, all of a sudden that entire draft advantage goes away because you're like fighting with a Scion in your backline or something. And Ezreal and Hui are pretty self-sufficient into that champion, but that also means your front line is going to die because Nautilus has basically no survivability. That is my guess what's going to happen. I need to zoom in and out too with how the plays are going. Super hard to know when to zoom in and out. I think like earlier in the game, you could almost just have it like zoomed in and then zoom out as the game goes on, but it's pretty hard to remember. Additionally, actually, if Synopsy this game decides to build Leandries and then just more tanky in general, they won't really have an amazing frontline in general. And if either him or Joe engage early, they might just get popped if it's not a really good angle. And I don't know if the Lack does this kind of thing, but if he builds a little bit of damage here, his side laning is not only going to be strong, but Scion can like surprisingly one-shot people sometimes. It's kind of hard to predict. No, barrier's not bad. So normally combat spells like barrier, heal, ignite, they're pretty good in the early levels. But kind of the problem here is neither side is amazing. I was going to say neither side should be fighting and is amazing at early level, but it looks like we're going to have a fight here. RMS and Joe able to force out Nintendo and Ghost in the bot side here. So, but like neither side has an amazing way to kill the other side here. So normally Ghost scales a little bit better into the game than something like Barrier. But I think if they're planning to fight, like especially if RMS and Joe are planning to engage, they probably should have brought Barrier realistically. But like, for example, if you were seeing this Kai'Sa, if this was a Kai'Sa instead of an Ezreal with a Nautilus, then you'd almost for sure see Barrier. Grant a little bit behind in the clear here. And Synopsy should be able to do his bot side faster, I believe. Because Amumu does these camps pretty fast. Although Amumu's interrupting his clear to go into Grant's bot side. Grant has no mana, has not done his blue yet. We'll see that... Oh, Synopsy is here. Grant might just go down here. He does have flash. Probably going to call his team here. Gonna have to flash over this wall. And Ghost Boy is headed up. Pretty long trade here. Lawful actually might be able to solo kill Nazgul, especially because he sees Synopsy on the other side of the map. Oh, and will be able to do it with the auto attack cancel. And Grant will go down, but he does have passive. Synopsy has to just kind of stand in it for now. Ghost flashes out the Lack. Oh, Joe, I think trying to flash follow. Has Q back. They are trying to turn, but Nintendo is just not really here yet. Not a whole lot to do. So 300 gold, or I think what, like 700 gold gained through that entire fight for Piltover, or yeah, Piltover. But I would say the one thing they're a little bit worried about here is if that Karthus gets early kills, he should feel fine. He didn't get anything there, but I think that once they caught that invade, it didn't go nearly as well for Synopsy as they were hoping it would. And the Lack, yeah, this is kind of the Scion thing where didn't quite pop Q fast enough, but it's kind of the Scion thing where he does a surprising amount of damage, and into a lot of mages, he actually just lives through all their damage. Although they did change Doran's Ring to try to deal with this kind of mid-play style, where it gives you more mana now. So maybe the Lack can be poked down. We're likely going to see maybe some magic resist early here. But he could also just build a long sword or something too. Health is also never bad, but I think when you have... Yep, there we see. So when you already have Dorn's Shield, health is not as valuable because it has so much regen on it anyway. Amumu kind of looking for something top, and so this is kind of what I was thinking about earlier, because like you might be able to dive Lawful, but it's kind of sketchy. He has the wave clear, and they're all sitting top now. If Grant doesn't interrupt his clear, which I think the reason he didn't is they didn't know they were there. But if he just goes and hits camps now, Synopsy has his entire jungle up, so Grant could, like, for example, go take the bot lane, that kind of thing, which he should do now that he sees a Mumu top. So he could go take Raptors now, then maybe go for Krugs, and then just stay like ahead in gold in that way. I think Drag also could be a good call. Drag's a little bit sketchy though because you don't have Prio bot. But Hui is top, so you have Prio mid. It's a little bit weird. I think it feels better once Sign has ult, so you can get down there pretty quickly. I do like that Grant is playing higher tempo now though. Good pink into the jungle here, and just going to go hit his camps. I like this idea. I think his Raptors is going to spawn a little bit early, so maybe he has like a 10-second timer here. Do something on the map. And a hook bot lane here. Joe trying to take down Ghost Boy, but oh, Ghost Boy barely able to get out so far. One last auto from Aramis is able to take him down. Nintendo trading back autos, but it isn't quite enough. Pretty surprising, actually, that a Alistar dies in lane. To this combo. I think it's mainly just getting hooked obviously early, but I think it's also maybe being a little bit lower health. He didn't have flash or heal up as well. Normally Alistar is pretty good into Nautilus though, because you can do a lot of like tricks into him where you can buffer Q sometimes, you can W him away if he tries to engage in your team, and you're pretty good in the extended fights, and then once you have R, he can just never really kill you. Even like most ADCs just won't be able to kill him, and then the hooks won't really matter, but I think that is one of the situations where it actually works out quite well, especially with Alistar. When you don't have a high damage ADC like you have a Caitlyn, like Alistar's going to take a lot of punishment, and you can't really trade back a lot of damage to punish it. Synopsy going to try to invade Grant again. Danny coming up along with the Lack, and it looks like Synopsy will be able to take him down, but does not look like it will result in too much. Ghost Boy gets the kill. Honestly, probably not who you wanted on, but it was a Scion otherwise, so I don't think you want to risk giving it to the Karthus because his passive could expire. And they're trying to take down Danny. They might actually be able to find him, though. This is kind of the thing about the big tank comps, is if you don't space it really well, it can kind of do this stuff. But they are actually able to take down Ghost Boy. And then top lane, actually, Nazgul gets solo killed. Or not, I guess not really solo killed, because it was the Karthusar as well. But Lawful able to secure that kill top. Both ADCs trading autos here, although Aramis is landing the Qs, which is a big thing in this specific matchup. And Grant is still plugging along, still keeping up in CS, and everything is 6 before Synopsy. They could decide to really easily contest Grubs here, but the problem is Lawful doesn't have teleport quite yet, and he needs to reset really bad. He is sitting on a reasonable amount of gold. So starting Grubs is pretty scary. Synopsy is 6 off of that Grub as well. I mean, this is, yeah, this is not... this is kind of the problem with the tempo thing, is if you make a decision like this, all of a sudden the tempo doesn't really matter anymore. I think in that situation you kind of have to immediately run to your bot side with your bot side up, because a big thing to remember is junglers don't lose their timers. So if Grant goes bot there instead and just knows that he can't do that, then he can go and do his bot side and use timer at bot side anyway. But we will see a fight bot. Ghost trying to get the stun off to Aramis, but won't quite find it, and now Ghost is quite low. Nintendo is a little bit too low to walk up to auto at this point. Ghost does go down to Joe, although the Lack is behind them. Looks like Aramis is going to try to trade a kill onto Nintendo. Actually is able to find it with a great Q at the end there to secure it. Joe will be taken down, though. Grant able to push in this wave, and then the next one as well. So with the jungle thing though, it's just like to. I think that this is like a lane thing as well, but it's the decision comes up way more for jungle. It's just to look what you can't do and then just do anything. Because in lane sometimes there's nothing you can do in the lane, but also roaming is not a good idea because you miss the timer for the wave or something, so you can't contest the next one and then you can't roam to neutrals. But jungles always have something to do, so if you know you can't do grubs and then just do run immediately to your bot side, you still have a timer to do something bot, and then if you don't have the timer bot, you slam recall and then you have another timer top even though grubs is gone, and then maybe you can gank Nazgul or something, right? So but it can feel really pressuring to do that in team play. Although Lawful might just find a solo kill on a Nazgul. Wow. A great ult to clear the wave there, and then Nazgul just goes down. And because Synopsy is not playing top at all almost this game, the gap top is probably not going to be getting any better at this point. The Lack ulting down with Grant. They did spot Synopsy, but Grant trying to make it down. Ghost Boy goes down early in the fight. Now Grant trying to fight Synopsy, but doesn't have quite enough damage to finish him off, but does have ult now. Should be able to take down Synopsy with that. The Lack won't have quite enough here. Will likely go down to the Ignite at least. That fight, I think, going in the way of Piltover, but I do think it's not the worst thing in the world, though, because I think lane state was way better for the Lack mid. But I think that, with this kind of tank thing, you kind of just need to fight on your Karthus permanently. And if you're not fighting on Karthus, then you just don't really have the damage to do a whole lot. And even then, Karthus really needs 2 items, I think, in this game to start popping off a lot. And if you look at gonna have another little fight here top. Nazgul has ult this time, and Lawful doesn't. So maybe Nazgul will look for something here, but I think at this point, especially with the completed item for Lawful, you don't really want to take the 1v1 at this point. The jungler's still pretty even, to be honest. I think as the game goes on, the Karthus pick is going to feel a lot better, though. Nintendo definitely won't be able to get out of this one. Too much CC, too much damage coming out from RMS. Gets taken down pretty quickly. Ghostboy trying to get away with ult. Should be able to get away here. But there is 4 bot now. Might play for the turret. Nope. Gonna run back mid to try to stop that, but Grant also mid. Now, Grant, this is what I like to see junglers do. You know, you can't really go bot side to compensate. You don't fight over the drag, so you just like do whatever you can on the other side of the map. Walking into Nazgul might not be a good thing to do, but okay. Grant lives. It's fine. Grant could actually now just go do the top jungle anyway. He doesn't actually need to back away. Looks like he might do that. Especially if Mumu walks on this ward on Gromp here, which I believe he will. Now Grant has the ability to do this top side. We'll be able to get blue, do his own top side, and then recall. And then his bot, Gromp, will be on what, like 45 seconds still? So maybe like a window there. And then what Synopsy is going to be able to do is probably just play permanently for bot now, because I think they're far enough ahead to just dive and do this kind of thing where they're proxying. Ghost Boy going to go down here. Nintendo probably won't be able to live for much longer. Even through this one dive, the next wave is coming, so Nintendo trying to force them out here. The Lack TPing in to try to save Nintendo, but it won't quite be enough. Now the Lack kind of on the backside here trying to find anything, but kind of just needs to clear the wave, I think, if you're trying to play for the turret. It'll be difficult for them to get beats if they did not get the kill feat. Oh, and they probably won't be able to hold this turret, at least for the next wave. Ghostboy gets hooked again, and this ultimate at this point in the game is only 50% damage reduction, so almost goes down. Looks like they will try to lane swap now, though.
I've been co-casting with you for a little bit, but I was muted in Discord.
I had a really strong feeling you were back, but I didn't want to, like... I didn't want to say, like, hey, are you there? Hello. I
Yeah.
feel bad now. I probably should have said something.
No, I like came back, unmuted my my headphones, and I didn't even. We were like having conversations as we always do. But then you talked over me once, and I was like, all right, let me just double check here.
Oh
And
no.
of course.
See a fight top here. Oh, Grant taken down by the Hui. I think that is QE.
Yeah,
And that feels pretty
Piltover
bad.
really found their groove in game 2, and they're holding on to it.
So that's QW. I definitely lied. I think that if once Grant has 2 items, they have a much better chance of fighting. He's going... What is he going second? Oh, is Grant going Shadow Flame? Is that the Karthus build? Do you not build Leandro second?
I
Not
couldn't
actually
tell you.
sure. That will be feats now secured for Piltover. Piltover kind of, after losing that first game, I think kind of turning the series around. I think playing around topside was working really well for them. And then this game, I think that the bot lead is just really substantial. And that's kind of allowed them to get a lot of stuff on the map. I don't even know how well the comp is going to scale for Void with the 3 tanks. Oh, although Lawful looking for an engage, finds 2, and a great follow-up from Nintendo with that trap. Now they're trying to finish off RMS here. RMS has to flash away.
Kiting his heart out.
Lawful trying to smack Joe, but does Malphite damage, and now Nintendo's kind of caught out here.
Oh no! The Amumu stun was so far.
Grant is still alive, though, so maybe they could, like, find damage with that as the fight is, like, kind of awkwardly extended here, but yeah, it does not look like they're super interested to extend it farther. So even though Grant interrupted some of his clears earlier, I do like now that he's not breaking the cycles and he's still doing things, because he's gonna... this lead that he has over Synapse is going to keep increasing, at least with levels. I don't think the gold lead will be one unless they stabilize. Oh, and that should actually be Nazgul going down here too.
Not the Alistar getting the shutdown.
Oh, did that? Oh, did
Yeah.
Nintendo not get it? That is unfortunate.
Nope.
That's not who you wanted on, especially because you want Nintendo being super strong this game.
Yeah. If Caitlyn can make it to late game. Last game. This is the last game. She'll be... I think Void is really good.
Oh, a great engage again from Lawful, finding a lot of great ultimates this game.
Yeah,
Trying to
Lawful
finish
Dog,
off.
his Malphite, his Garen, and his Trundle, I think are his best 3, in my opinion. Very scary. This is the scariest Malphite I've ever played against.
This is kind of what I was thinking might happen too, is when you're against comps like this, I think I said this in the loading screen, or in the spectator delay. When you're against tanks, like teams that are just a bunch of tanks, you have to play it really correctly and like know your win conditions and everything. Because if it goes down to just scrapping and you start stat checking and everything, then all of a sudden the tank, like team comps look really good.
Yep. Malphite is 7-1-2. He always ends up insanely fed on it. I don't understand.
I almost feel like he should have built Malignance. And when I say I almost feel like I think for sure he should have built Malignance at least in this game. I think that gives you the ability to have a little bit more damage with this team comp, and then you're not too much squishier. Like, obviously you're going to be squishier, but I think gives you what the team needs. Ghostboy might be caught out here. Is definitely going to get caught out, but pushes Joe over the wall. Maybe they can, like, try to kill Joe in exchange. Remember, Nautilus is...
Yeah, they're just trading the support first. A life for a life.
Nintendo is not quite here yet, though, so the fight is a little bit scary to take. Grant will go down, but Grant still has ult. This is going to be a lot of damage actually coming out. And then Nintendo is going to try to take out RMS here. Oh, a fight going over to the Void. That's
Grant
big.
pushed so much damage on that set, because set just stood still, so Grant was just Q, 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 and then ult. That Karthus damage there was crazy, that fight. I believe, at least, can't really see it.
I think the Void now, once you see a fight go like that, it's really scary for Piltover. I think that, I think, okay, so my idea here is that I think they need to play like solely for Ezreal and Hui and just make the enemy team run into them. And then, you know, permanently kite back, that kind of thing. But if you see that situation where a Mumu or Nautilus are trying to go in, like obviously Nautilus didn't try to, he's kind of stuck, but like if you walk into that tank team, your backline will die. Like for sure, they cannot live against the tanks in that situation. And if your backline dies, you have no way to kill the tanks. "2012 is 13 years ago." Why did you have to say that?
That is cursed. It's weird how cursed it is, because it's true.
We're
It
closer
doesn't
to
feel like that.
we're closer to 2050 than 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because we're at 2025.
We're actually closer to 2051 than 2000.
That's crazy. Ooh.
Gonna see an Otacon fight here now. The Lack does have teleport. So does Nazgul. I cannot imagine they start it, right? Also, I really, really think Aramis should build Bork this game. Like, obviously it's not a common item on Ezreal, but it's so good this game. Like, you have to build it. Oh, and they do just start it, too. I'm gonna be surprised if we don't see... Top laners are fighting right now. And, yeah, I mean, they just try to walk in, but the comp is so good. Oh, Nintendo kind of flashes in, almost dies, but is able to live a little bit longer here. Does get the damage, it looks like, on to Dandy, but standing in the QE...
Arthas.
Gets out, and yeah, Grant did so much damage in passive that game. This is exactly what I mean, by the way. If you try to walk into the team, you're walking into a Karthus, and you're walking into 3 tanks. You have to kite back. Your win condition is never going to be walking in, especially with Hwei and Ezreal. And like, as we saw at the end there, when you walk into the Ezreal there, he can find so much more damage and opportunities. But if you try to go forward and like find a good engage, there's no one to engage on who's going to be in range, because Caitlyn's the only person to actually look for. And she's just going to be 10,000 units away at the beginning of the fight.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
They were, before that Otacon fight, they were even in kills. Ooh.
That was scary.
Well, scary for that Caitlyn. But but now they're kind of running away with that gold lead.
Yeah, almost around 10,000 now. At least they don't have feats, so they have 5 movement speed right now on this side of Piltover. They have that going for them. But then again, like, I don't actually think their win condition ever changes. I think they can always win as long as they're playing like to the correct ideas. I just don't think they've been playing to like how they like their win conditions and everything. I really think Aramis needs to build Pork. I really, really think he needs it.
I don't think it even saves him, but it helps.
I think it does so much for the because 3 people you see right now are stacking health. It will feel so nice to have percent health damage, because right now the only percent health damage is just magic damage. And Ezreal, like, his damage is going to fall off more and more. I think armor pen is obviously important, but I feel like Bork is just like... I mean, how much damage is 1Q going to do with Bork? It's going to do 1 billion damage? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right. I believe it. Work does 1 billion damage. That's why I like building a Caitlyn.
Also, he can also freely auto this whole game as well, to be honest. So
Yeah.
it's not like most Ezreal games where you can't really utilize passive super
You
well.
can shoot a Q in any direction. It'll hit one of those fat boys on that team.
Yeah, and you'll
You
never
cannot
really
miss.
drop your passive either, because like you're just going to be in range all the time to do whatever you want, and then obviously like Q in any direction is going to hit stuff. So he's going to get off more autos than Caitlyn probably by quite a bit, actually. So I think that like the reasons that you normally don't build Bork on Ezreal, they don't really apply super well this game, because he has almost no threat on him, unless somehow like the Karthus gets on him or something. Now Void going for Dragon. I think Piltover wisely choosing not contest this one. I think that
Yep.
is probably... Oh, also the Void is not responding super fast. I really like Piltover's flipping map here and trying to play for the lack, but I don't even know if they have enough damage to kill him, to be honest. Oh, a great Q there from Synopsy. The binding lands and interrupts the ult. I don't think we killed this guy. I don't think we killed this guy, and the rest of the Void is here.
Yeah, the lag takes a little too long to kill.
Run, 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 run. Don't walk in, don't walk in, don't walk in.
Oh.
I think if the Piltover backs away right now, it's completely fine, and they can peel for backline, but they're standing inside of Karthus.
Yeah.
Karthus finds so
Oh my
much
God,
damage that
he
fight.
dies?
The R does so much too. And Dandy goes
Wow.
down along with Aramis.
I didn't think Dandy would die there.
Yeah.
The Karthus at least.
Yeah, the
Well-
Karthus mid-game spike here, Shadow Flame. Or I guess we're late game now, but...
I'm curious, the gold graph, I just don't remember what it was in the beginning, but at the beginning of this game, I thought Piltover was going to win, because they were ahead. They were playing well, and it looked like they were kind of running away with the game, and at some point, I guess it's just when they're running into Karthus over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's just like identify...
And Lawful Dog ults.
Okay, I need to actually watch the replay at some point and see the things I predicted, because I think this is like exactly what I thought would happen, where they're trying to engage onto the Void, but like if you just don't engage, they can't do anything. But it's like so tempting to engage when you're playing a Moo and Nautilus. And by the way, Nautilus is like impossible to play this game, by the way, into 3 tanks and Caitlyn. Like, there's nothing you can do really. Like, he has to like play to peel or something weird. He hates playing for peel. Oh, that was not what you wanted to do, I think. Maybe Piltover can look for a play here, actually. They should be able to take down
Ghost Boy going down.
Ghost. Now they're trying to take down Lawful, but you have to play back. Please play back. Oh, Grant actually is caught there. Even though it's a trade, it's super good.
One punch.
I think it's super, super good if they just back up. Nintendo is actually very low as well. Nintendo, a great ult from Synopsy, though,
She
but
forgot about that Nautilus there.
they are trying to go in, but it should be late enough in the fight. They have a big enough lead, I think, at this point. Ezreal doing so much damage here in the backline. Now, can he finish off Nintendo? Oh, just barely misses Q, and now the lag is behind him, but follows with ease, able to finish down or finish
Maybe 1v2
Nintendo.
these.
I don't even know
can.
if they can kill this guy.
I don't think they can, like, I think they can over time.
If they mess up, he has W back, so he can like look for something. Maybe they should not chase him though. Please don't. Okay, they think better of it. That's probably a good choice. So Piltover does find a way maybe back into the game. They had huge shutdowns there. Oh, Ezreal is dead.
Oh, God, this one! Is Dandelion dead? He lives?
I'm surprised he didn't die to
Ghost
Shadow
Boy
Flame.
wants him. That bull sees red! Does he have the fear up? Yes.
Dandy able to get away. I think that fight feels so good for them though. RMS finishes the armor pen item and won't build Bork because it's not going to happen this game, but I'll keep my hopes up.
We could talk to him in Frelia in chat post game.
Oh, Dandy's
Where
not
is the
building Void
Bork?
Staff next. Oh no, he's building Horizon. Dandy is going to do 0 damage until the Void is complete.
Yeah, I don't know if the Void is gonna let him get to that point.
Oh, true. They know too. It's their own item. They made it.
Yeah, you gotta build the Void staff against the Void.
Everyone knows that.
How you beat them. They probably had it the game they won.
Oh my God, Synopsis.
Oh my
punches
God.
on the wall. Oh, it actually finds Nintendo anyway. 2-man ult, a lot of damage coming out earlier, but again, like they're walking in. You cannot walk into this team.
Yeah. Zamumu keeps finding the backline,
why did
but
stop
he's not
engaging?
AP.
Let them walk into you. They're 90 melees. Although that was a huge amount of damage there coming out from the W, but he goes down anyway. But Grant is still safe in the back there. Doesn't have ult quite yet,
Yeah.
and Nintendo's
Grand
also pretty
Nintendo
safe.
are safe behind their thick-ass boys. Although they did lose one of them. They have 2 to spare.
Oh, that is very rough. No, it can't be Crypt Bloom. Crypt Bloom builds from 1.
Yeah.
It doesn't build from 2. This is definitely Horizon, I'm pretty sure. Unless like they changed the build, but I don't think they did. Oh, Nintendo looking for
Oh!
RMS, doesn't quite find it. Aramis running back to base, and he's going to sell all of his items and buy Bork right now. Right? No. Oh, but Synopsy is back. I don't think they have enough health to end. I mean, I think... Oh, no, they
Yes,
do.
they do.
Definitely. Never mind.
Caitlyn
Oh.
can just auto that from so far away.
Really valiant effort there at the end for Piltover. I think that comp is just something you can't walk into, though. Like, if you walk into 3 tanks with this, like... Is it like your Hui will never be able to follow up with the damage, and then Ezreal also prefers people walk into him because he can just freely auto the whole time. If he's forced to like fight the Malphite or something, I think it's not possible to play.
Yeah, they need percent health damage and then pen to even think about fighting the 3 tanks on that team. I think you're right with that. Bork and Void Staff.
Bork would have been. I would not expect anyone to build Bork in this game because it's so uncommon on Ezreal. But I think it just like this one specifically, it's so good. It's like so insane. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that name.
Yeah, I saw that earlier and I was like, that's not his league name, right? It's spelled a little differently.
Yeah, I like his old
Okay.
name on Twitch better.
Yeah.
The one where New knew who he was. Would either of the team captains like to join, by the way? Which is Nintendo or Synopsy, I believe?
For anybody from either team, doesn't have to be the captain.
Oh, does it not have to be the captains anymore?
No, it never had to be the captain. It's just like if somebody from either team wants to come talk about the game. You don't want it flooded. The only time the whole team comes in is whoever wins finals.
I see.
Oh, hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
Did you enjoy your 2v1 experience tonight?
It was very fun. Every time I thought they weren't still there, I was wrong.
Yeah, they put you through it today.
And then I played a tank.
Yep.
Did you feel the rage in the second game there where like the first game was bad, but that second game I think you got ganked more than everyone else combined.
Yeah, there was the lane gank that got me pretty good because he was there for a minute.
There was also the gank after or before he fully cleared, by the way. He skipped his Krugs, went top.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was still, and he didn't recall. His first recall that game was at 5 minutes because of the regank top. That looked really painful.
Yeah, it'd be like that. That's top lane.
But you did eventually go the weak side pick into Malphite, and so I don't think they were like ever willing to path into you. So that looked a lot more comfortable for you to play.
You can't gank Malphite.
True.
Except for that one time, which he did have a really sick set W flash out to negate the turret shot thing or whatever. That was sick.
So, out of curiosity, did you guys know that Jax was not top in the second game?
Oh, yeah.
Is it because
never
Nazgul doesn't play Jax?
He does. I don't mean, not that I know of. I think he can play anything, but we knew Synopsy played it, so we figured probably not top.
I was super scared for you guys because I thought they were gonna put like even if the Jax wasn't originally for intended jungle, I thought they were gonna see the Trundle and then flip the Jax to top, and then just pick another jungler. Evan was like,
I think Trundle's still pretty good in the Jax, honestly.
I think maybe like your Trundle's good in Jax. Most of the time when I see Trundle to Jax, though, Jax just knocks that guy in his head over and over again with his lamppost.
Yeah.
He just spins, and then Trundle kind of does 0 damage. But I mean, it looked like you guys won this last game relatively comfortably. How do you feel like you were able to win the team fights with like a relatively low damage team comp?
I think we played lane phase pretty good. We let Karthus scale. And then Grant's really good about letting us know ult timer at all times. And when you can just do 10k damage with a button, you can play the fight pretty well.
Yeah, those Karthus ults were so deadly. I was a little skeptical when you guys picked it so early, but then the Scion really helped tie that together, and that was some good
Oops, all
stuff.
tanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, oops, I'll tank.
I thought Grant played that really smart in that game because a lot of the time it can feel very pressuring when the other jungler is being really active on the map to just like interrupt all your clears, make sure that all lanes are okay, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But especially like beyond like 13 minutes, he just like kept clearing, made sure his jungle was always down, collect some waves, that kind of thing. And because of that, he was able to stay really strong. So I think that is a really, really smart thing for you guys to just let him scale and let him do his thing. I think that was like a big thing for you guys in that game. Out of curiosity, I don't think you guys would have like thought of this either. Did you think Ezreal would have ever built Bork or no?
Jackie wasn't in my game, so no.
Hey, Sam really wanted that
I
guy to have
wanted the
Bork.
Ezreal Bork so bad. I think he could have freely autoed the whole game.
Yeah.
It would've
I
been
was thinking about
insane.
that Caitlyn Bork though, drooling.
Oh, we love Bork on every champion.
Bark, bark,
I
bark.
stand by the no Bork
You
because
should have
it
built
is not my
Bork.
job to kill. My job is not to kill them. The job is it's going to be a split fight. Tanks are going to jump either on me or they're going to try to peel the Caitlyn. And if the Caitlyn and Karthus dies in the back line, then we have won the team fight. Every time the Malphite abandons the Caitlyn and stuff, or anything of their Alistar also diving into the back line, and we are super good. Hui and I can kite them forever, but backline never died. That is, I stand by my build. I needed the health and all of the additional stats that come from Triforce.
I think that if you try to walk into that team, though, you always lose. I think you guys didn't walk into
I
them
agree.
for one fight and then you won. But every other fight,
I
you like
agree.
tried to engage on them, and like that looked impossible. I think that
I agree.
if we just build like full tank Amumu, even though like obviously you're playing into a bunch of tanks, Landry's feels good, that kind of thing. But I think full tank Amumu is basically immortal this game. And then actually I think you just straight win front to back because Caitlyn Karthus is not a great way to get through the set and Amumu. And even Nautilus, I feel like can try to like mitigate the damage a little bit. I think Nautilus though is like probably an impossible pick this game. I do not know how you can like Nautilus feels really bad. I think like earlier in the draft it was like a good pick, but feels really, really bad playing into this many tanks.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was picked into Caitlyn Karthus, right? That was the only two. And then our last three picks were all three tanks in a row.
You never expect it to happen. You never expect the three last pick tank. And like full tanks too, not like Garen, not like anything like that. It's just like even an Alistar is just so impossible sometimes to play into. Actually, I think, yeah, is Set Bork playable anymore? I don't know if it is.
I don't know. Probably not.
It is, but not first item.
I see. I think
Also,
that could have
if
been
anybody
okay.
builds Malignance on Malphite, you're wrong.
I was
Also, for
feeling it
ADC
after you were like 1,000 gold up.
No,
For
it's never
ADC
worth it.
builds, Bork on Ezreal's really bad.
Bork on Ezreal's really bad?
Yeah,
How come?
you really aren't like getting much value out of it. You get more value out of Shojin. You should also probably go Conqueror, and you can build Leander's third.
I would die on this hill against all of Boo's bad.
Or not third, fourth, because you need Shojin.
How many players are there? There is 210, something like that.
There's only 5. There's the Void.
True.
And Freljord.
I would against all 210 players argue for Bork Ezreal this game.
No,
I think it's terrible.
6% max HP is really only going to work on the Scion.
Shojin like will do exponentially more damage.
Yep, because it'll also increase my my magic damage aspect of the side. But I also didn't get
Like
to that point.
he should like you should go Conqueror and then Shojin third and then Leander's fourth.
Lethal's for lane.
I think into 90% of teams, it is true that Bork, or more than 90%, right? Because you're not actually freely autoing most of the time on Ezreal, but into a team where you can freely auto all the time, you can keep lethal stacked all the time, and like it's almost impossible to miss Qs. All of a sudden, like you're kind of just an attack speed ADC in a weird way. And opposed to a lot of items, like I think the 3 people you're going to be autoing almost all the time are just going to be building health. But even then, like I don't actually think like the reason you guys lost fights, I don't think Bork would have changed anything. But I do think like, especially like even when the Malphite tries to dive you or something, I do think that Bork feels better in that situation as well, because it gives you some life steal, so you can't just like get stat checked through an entire fight by their front line.
You're still getting a stat check because Malphite's full armor.
Mm.
Whoa,
Lose
I
a
was
lot,
hybrid.
It's not as full armor. Yeah, it's poke was supposed to be the plan is supposed to poke them. We're never supposed to go in, but such is life.
Yeah, I think you guys didn't engage in one fight, and that was the fight I think you guys won.
Yep.
So
It is supposed to be a Hui Ezreal kiting phase, and then if fights do need to happen, then we go for backline dive, and I just kite out whatever melees if they abandon them.
yeah,
Mind
I
you, this
think-
was like just how the draft was. The draft was, evolved as time went on. Like you said, they 3 tanks in a row were drafted afterwards, so that's a different thing altogether. Ezreal's pick. To see the Caitlyn lane.
that is true.
That is all.
So I thought it was a really
Alright.
Maybe
fun game to
Conqueror would have
watch.
been better, but yeah, maybe Conqueror would have been better, but the lethal was for lane.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed, and I expect to see Synopsy there too, waiting for me.
Oh my!
Oh boy.
Because of the game. That's cute.
It's a new world.
Hey, listen. Look, there was some commitment, and so I expect some follow through. Okay.
Oh,
Oh no.
my.
wait, so it would be both of them in that lane or in that bed then, waiting, right?
Oh, Evan's already there.
Oh,
Aw.
my bad. I was unaware of the game. Anyway, GG's. It was fun still.
GG's, it was very fun to
GG's.
watch.
Thanks for casting, y'all.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Shout out to Miko for
playing.
pooping
Oh.
on time.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, he
time.
was a good boy.
Shout out to Grant for filling in.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
wait.
shout out to Grant for subbing.
I do have a question really fast actually for Nintendo. How come you didn't pick Aphelios this series?
They had some cancer ass team comps.
Hold on. Where is this really early on? Hold on.
That is a valid
ADs
reason.
were picked really early in both drafts. I'm just saying.
There
You
were
had
some
your chance.
cancer ass picks up. I knew what was happening.
And I assume you guys were expecting the Aphelios pick at some point too, because it was open. So
I was waiting for it.
yeah.
I thought it was going to be the Vayne game,
Thank you guys
but then
for
they got.
coming.
Yeah, Caitlyn wasn't supposed to be picked the third game. I was supposed to be on Sivir.
Oh. Well, here we are.
I do think if Piltover goes Sivir first game too, you guys probably win. Because you guys were so far ahead in the early game, but you didn't really have a way to like run at them with the team comp.
Yeah, well, you shot for the king game 1, but you didn't put me down, and that's what happened. That's
Seems
yours,
so.
baby.
Seems so.
Jackie, do you have any questions at the end here?
No, not really. I think start theory crafting about your next matches. Nobody's out yet, but Targon and Piltover are fighting for death. One of you will be out. So
Will Icy get a
Luck.
playoffs point? He may. Who knows?
We'll see. We will see.
Okay, thank
alright,
you guys
see you
for
next
coming.
time.
See you next time.
Y'all.
Thank you guys for watching the stream. There will be a game. There's going to be 3 games on Sunday. 2 Shimmer games and a Chemtech game. Make sure you guys come to those. The earliest one is 5 or 7 p.m. EST. So make sure you show up to those. And I will see everyone later.